we get our first look at the PS5 home screen. Is it going to be as good as the Xboxes? Yeah.
Is the Avengers game already in trouble?
And PlayStation will record every single word you say in the history of ever. But it's a good thing. And we're going to talk about it on tonight's Hack the Dino. Greetings and salutations, and another word that I don't know what means hello. But hello, welcome to Hack the Dino, your nonsense video game news show thing with talking and sometimes visuals.
Your Friday night in for the best of people.
Unless you're listening to it on the podcast, in which case it's not well, it could be, but maybe not. Anyway, I'm Ben Rosenthal, and I am joined by the limb collector, Mr. Dan McGuinness.
Good morning, good night.
Just covering all the bases there.
Yeah, I don't know when people watch stuff.
We have also got the gaming anthropologist and the resident Xbox Series expert, Floppy Stark. You like that? I came up with that on the fly.
Good day, everybody.
Series X. Has anyone done that yet?
What?
Surely there's a YouTube channel with the Series Expert.
Oh,
if not, we should get that.
It would have been. It would have been for like
Series Expert.
It would have been for the X1 and that and everything.
Do you know what?
For the Xbox, they would have.
Do you know what? We can find it out by asking our very own Millennial Falcon, Mr. Braden Dixon.
Hello, I'm over here on the keys, the ones and twos, and in the chat.
He's got DJ disease. He's turned into a radio DJ.
He also has visuals, but he forgot to put that up.
He's going to be.
I was distracted.
He's going to be coming at us with lots of cold hard cash and the
Cold
classic
hard cash,
hits
money,
from
money,
the
money.
80s and 80s.
8 next callers over there in the school zone.
So, yeah, so I did a whole bunch of school talks this week. So we've got a whole bunch of new people in the chat. So hello, new people. Hello to Tonka and I assume Death Puppy and that. I went to Glenelg School, primary school today.
Hello,
and
everybody.
earlier on in the week, I went to Redeemer College, I think it's called, in Nuriupita.
Oh, Nuriupita. Cool.
Yeah,
right.
I like
there.
it a bit of Nuri.
So, hello to all you guys in the chat. Now, if you guys are in the chat and you're new to the chat, ask us some questions about what you see on the screen. If you've got any questions about the games or anything we're talking, ask it and we'll try and address them.
And also, do not forget to head on over to youtube.com/hackthedino and subscribe and like all those little things over there because that helps us grow as well. We're watching. Bam, bam, bam. We're watching and performing live at the moment, but after this, it goes up on YouTube so you can watch and share it with all your friends and family and pets. The pets really love it. Show the pets.
Pets don't love it, but get your friends and
I'm
family.
going to talk to your dog right now. No.
I'll have you know, for people with the volume up, it's really uncomfortable mouth noises when you're just mouthing words.
Especially for the audio podcast listeners.
The dogs know exactly what I'm on about.
All the podcast listeners are going to be listening to it and suddenly all their dogs are going to look up and attack them.
But we do also have a podcast over on Spotify and over on iTunes and over on SoundCloud. So search Hack the Dino in the little search bar thingy and don't forget to subscribe there. Leave a review. Again, tell your friends. There's another thing we do. Discord. Social. Hack the Dino.
If you're on Twitch tonight, please follow.
Yeah. Let's get on with the show.
Oh.
Get it?
All right, we're going to jump straight into the breaking news that broke like 12 hours ago, but it's breaking for us. Nintendo announced that they are re-releasing for the first time in English the very first Fire Emblem game that came on the Famicom. Did anyone watch this trailer that we've got up on screen right now?
No,
I didn't, but I read the news about it.
So pretty much it's announced for the 30th anniversary of Fire Emblem. As I said, they're localizing the very first Fire Emblem game. And in order to introduce it, they had Smash Brothers Melee playing on a screen and two guys talking going, Marth? Who's Marth? Oh, you didn't know? Marth was a character in the very first Fire Emblem game.
Did they sound like that?
Yeah, exactly. That was the exact audio.
Thick
Both of them?
90s.
Both of them sounded like that?
Yep.
Weird.
Both, they're twins.
Okay.
Twin gamers. So they're releasing that. It's going to be around $15 on the eShop, and it's coming out December 6th. But they also announced that they're releasing a special physical edition, which was about $80, I think, and it comes with a fake cart because you obviously don't have a real cart, an original NES manual, and a small art book as well.
Are you going to get it?
I don't know. I'm contemplating it. I'm not a huge fan of Fire Emblem, and this game, being the first game, is exceptionally hard.
I think this is just the first. It's not a remake. It's just up.
It's just remastered, or
No, it's the very first game, but they've localized it, so it's all in English. It's never been released in English before.
Okay.
They did remake it for the DS a couple of years ago,
I bet
like
there's
basically same game, but yeah,
I
with
bet
two.
there's a ROM out there that's been translated.
Of course
They
there
do
is.
that for
Fire
all of
Emblem
them. It's
Awakening?
weird.
Yes, I believe so. So yeah, really, really cool that they did this sort of stuff. However, they've also put another time limit on it, and it's only available until March 31st, much like the Mario collection. So either Nintendo knows something that we don't, and the world is ending on April Fools, or they're just trying to get money in before, you know, the financial year or financial quarter comes in, or they made so much money with Mario 3D, they're going, you know what, we're just going to do this from now on and create that artificial hype.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing something on come April with like a digital store. They've done NES and SNES. Maybe they'll be adding it to that.
Possibly. There are the rumors that the Switch Pro, you know, that Switch Pro that you've got, Dan?
Dan's Magic Switch Pro.
The Switch Pro, yeah.
Yeah, they're hypothesizing that possibly that'll be announced, which is why they're cutting all these things short so they can make a big announcement. Honestly, I don't believe any of that. I think they're just creating scarceability in order to make sales because it worked really, really well for Mario 3D Collection. What do you reckon, Dan?
I don't know.
Good.
I haven't got an opinion. I've just been watching the chat and all the people that are coming in and saying hello. And I'm just like, hello.
I find that that having the scarcity for the Switch for the Mario 3D collection has worked well for them. I still don't understand why, because I still think they would sell all of those no matter what.
Can we talk about this huge edition that they're doing?
That's
my
the
God.
special edition.
I want it. Damn it.
It's available for pre-order now.
What's that cart at the end?
It's a fake cart. So you get a download code for the game to
Yeah.
put in your Switch, obviously. And then, they've just gone ahead and I think I kind of want this now.
That looks pretty.
Wait,
What's the bottom
you
right?
didn't explain what the cart is.
It's a fake cart.
It's a fake cart.
of the original cart.
Yeah.
But is it clear? It looks like there.
Well, I
It
assume
does
so.
look
I think
clear.
it's reflective.
Oh no! You know what I think it is? I think it's one of those stand-up ones. It's kind of like almost like a trophy, but it's the cart, and it's going to
But
be.
you've got the sheath.
But you've
the-
got
the box,
cart is
book.
see-through, but with the game art is opaque.
Is that a Nintendo?
Tell us more
power-
about sheaths and boxes, Dan.
Is that a Nintendo Power mouse pad?
I think it is.
It might be a poster, I think.
Nintendo Power.
It just says mini
irrelevant.
Nintendo Power collectible.
But this thing looks absolutely beautiful, and for 80 Australian dollars, I am bang up for it.
Everyone reckons you should just buy it. A Game Boy Dad in the chat says just buy it for $9 on the eShop, Ben, instead
I
of
think-
$90.
No, well, I'm a collector. I collect Nintendo things. I collect Nintendo history.
Oh, it's a Nintendo Power Mini Mag, apparently.
And apparently, according to Triple India in the chat, who always likes to correct me, it was also on the Wii, 3DS, and Wii U.
Maybe you should just be not wrong all the time.
Maybe I should do research before
Yeah, a
I
little
present it as fact. I'm on the internet. I don't do that sort of stuff.
Surely,
not a fu-
statistically speaking, you'll get it right eventually.
I do love this, but statistically speaking, I'm not a Fire Emblem person.
No, nor am
so,
I, but
yeah.
it looks really cool.
But I do like what they're doing here. I love all these like special editions that they bring out of stuff. I don't get them, but I love the fact when they bring them out. Floppy gets them all.
I'm a sucker for stuff, for like bits and pieces. Like
Yep.
I'm a sucker. You give me an original cart, you give me an art book, you give me an acrylic stand. Like, I'll get it all.
An acrylic stand.
Yeah, you give me an acrylic stand, I'll buy it. Like, I'm an idiot.
I just really like stands.
Yeah.
Put them
I
around
was
my
going to
house.
make like a standee.
Did
like
you
I've got
guys
one.
used to do acrylic plastics at school, and you worked with acrylics and making stuff out of acrylic?
I
And
made
the
kit-
tech teacher said, "Oh, if you get this in your eye, you're dead because it goes clear and it'll just slice up your eye."
Or the with the buffer, and there was always the thing about the girl who got her hair caught in it and it ripped off her scalp.
We made keychain.
Yeah, same. Hey, do you know who else didn't make keychains? Nintendo, when they went on to announce that the Switch has surpassed 62 million units sold.
I bet they made keychains though.
You
Probably.
didn't put this in the notes.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yes, you did.
So it
62
is
million.
62 million. So that's halfway to the PlayStation 4 units
And that's
already.
in what, 3 years? No,
3 years.
Three and a half years?
3. Oh, 3.5. Yeah,
3.5,
March.
because it was March.
Yeah.
2017.
Yep.
That is so quick.
Yeah, I know. And really, they're only going to get more and more and more because we've got, we were discussing this just before the show. You've got the Christmas bonanza coming up. You've got Black Friday in the States.
You got Black Friday here too.
Oh, really? We have it this year?
We've done it for the last 5 years.
I don't know. I'm not a consumerist, man.
You totally are. Says the guy
I'm the
that buys
biggest
all the Nintendo
consumerist
stuff.
anyway.
I'll buy a $90 collector's edition. I'm
I
not
don't
a
like.
consumerist.
Consumerist.
My point being, Nintendo have a long way to go, and there is every possibility that they could quite possibly catch up to the PS4 in terms of units sold.
Well, let's think about it. Let's think about it. So PS5's coming out next month.
Yep.
Xbox Series X is coming out next month.
Yep.
All of the units pretty much are pre-sold out for this year.
Yep.
So people have either pre-sold that, which they're going to pick up, or they pre-sold for next year. They're not going to be buying PS4s and Xbox Ones.
No, because they know there's already another one out. They'll wait.
We're going to have what I like to call Switchmas.
Switchmas. Merry Switchmas to you, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
Patent that.
Banning everyone.
What's he banning people?
Townsy, they're actually kids from the school I did a talk with today, so try not to ban them.
Let them play.
Let them play.
Speaking of banning, Nintendo won't be banned from anyone because
should have mentioned that to Townsy.
Nintendo have revealed that the Switch was the top-selling console for the past 22 months in a row. Dan, how long do you think it'll go for?
The what, sorry?
The Nintendo Switch has been the top-selling console for the past 22 months, all in a row.
Another 22 months.
Another 22? Even with next gen coming out?
Yeah.
26 months.
Because the next gen aren't gonna have any.
Yep.
Like next gens.
Correct.
There are gonna be no Michael Towns just got removed. Oh no, he didn't.
You were saying?
Oh, okay. I thought he timed himself out.
Well, with what are they called? PlayStation and Xbox. Like, does it count though that then there's a new console, so that they start at 1 again? How many they've sold.
Yeah,
so the
correct.
Nintendo's just going to keep selling the Switch all the way through this next generation.
We're not talking about the generation. We're talking about the streak they've got 22 months in a row being the top console.
Oh.
when
Well, if they don't make enough PlayStations and Xboxes, they can't be beaten.
Well, they've made more than they'd made when they had released the PS4 and the Xbox One. They've made heaps more. They've just sold that many more.
We heard in Japan there was only like 6 pre-orders.
I don't believe that for a second, by the way.
Yeah, I also heard that they invented Jetfly boots.
Jetfly?
I don't know what I'm... Yeah, it's a rumour, man.
Let's move on.
Okay.
I'm very tired, as probably everyone can tell.
You're not getting any of my cool jokes.
Personally, I think that Nintendo will win at least 24 months. I don't think that the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, because they're dividing the player base there, unless you're buying 2, you greedy person. So I don't think that they're going to have enough to beat the Switch in November. And if there's not enough in December, I think definitely next year it'll come to an end. But I think they'll get to at least 2 years. So that'll be interesting
definitely.
to see.
I say 26.
26?
I reckon 26 months.
I reckon 20... 20... I'll go 23.
So this is how much you reckon, how many more months you reckon the Switch is going to be on top?
Yep.
Yeah.
You never know, man. Like, maybe as soon as these PlayStations come out, I can't believe that they're not doing... Are they doing more pre-orders before Christmas?
No, they've pre-sold out every unit. Well, most
So
of the
that
big
means if
retailers
you don't have a
pre-sold.
pre-order now, you can't get a PlayStation for Christmas.
Pretty much.
Mum can't walk in and buy their son a PlayStation for Christmas or the new PlayStation or an Xbox
Maybe
PS5
Mum
because
should have been more
all of them are sold
organised.
out throughout the way. That's crazy. It's the worst plan they've ever had in the history of anything.
It's not a
Christmas
plan.
is
I
when you
don't,
get things.
I
It's not a
don't
plan.
think it was their fault. There's been a bit of a global bastard going around just
the
destroying
language?
everyone. Bastard's not a naughty word.
They've also made more. They've had more for launch than they had for the last 2
Generations.
massive release.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's just that
So it's just that more people have pre-ordered than ever before.
I reckon it's the how everything's been delayed and all the hype, the build-up. PlayStation holding their cards to their chest, Xbox just throwing their cards all over the table. Everyone is like...
Xbox just leaking everything.
Yeah, I
Going,
reckon
"Oh,
everyone's
whoops."
just gone, you know what? I need to get in on this game. I need to... You know, it's like
Yeah.
voting. It's like voting.
It's been hype.
Whatever console you buy is theoretically your vote to who wants to win the wars.
There's no war.
There is no war.
That's
There's
true.
3
I
different
know,
wars.
I go over that every week.
There's 3 different wars. They're all running them and they're all winning their own.
They're all on a different planet.
All right, speaking of a different planet, you might need to go there if you don't want your conversations recorded by your PlayStation 5.
I'm okay with this.
So during their latest, what was it? It was a game thing. Yep, cool.
State of play?
Yeah, thank you. The Sony announced that voice chat will be recorded for player protection. Now, they actually said this really, really poorly in the state of play. They just said, oh, yeah, it'll be online and it will record everything you say. And people went, wait, what?
Yeah,
No.
Why?
Well, PS5 players will now be... I'll read the press release. PS5 players will now be able to record... Quote, PS5 players will be able to record up to 40 seconds of audio from a voice chat with another player to use as evidence as a breach of the code of conduct. Players will be able to rewind up to 5 minutes with harassment reports containing up to 20 seconds of conversation between players. An additional 20 seconds will bookend the primary offense. Since PS5 players will be playing online games with PS4 players, Sony felt it necessary to let PS4 players know ahead of time about the new reporting tool. So basically, this is a way to cut down on toxicity in chat.
This is a great thing.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyone that doesn't like this is one of the people that would get burned by this.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, like and everyone was like, oh no, you're stealing my privaticity away from me. But like, if you own a phone, if you own anything, if you own a smart TV, everything's getting recorded. Like and if you think it's not, you're wrong.
You need to go watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix.
You do. You really do.
Because if you care about your PS5 controller listening to, I've got news for you about iPhones.
So be sure to follow us on Facebook.com/Hack The Dino and over on Instagram at Hack The Dino and all the social things where we won't sell your data.
So this thing is that they're bringing out, basically they're bringing out kind of a clipping kind of thing where if someone abuses you in chat or is racist or inappropriate in some way or misogynistic or something like that, you can report them.
Talk about how much they like Sega.
Because you couldn't do this before. And I assume it'll probably maybe even take down, like if you report a certain voice channel, it'll tell PlayStation their details as well. So it might go, okay, this user is doing dodgy things to this person, so we'll check it out. Oh yeah, that's dodgy. They're banned. So this is going to maybe make people think twice about being complete turkeys.
Yep.
But I also like that it's not being relying on he said, she said. It's like, report, here is the clip, exactly what got said.
Floppy, get that mic right up in your mouth.
Floppy. Braden, what do you think about this as Token Millennial?
As Token Millennial, I'm over here, as I gave my opinion just before. I could not care less. I think this is an excellent thing. I have seen the internet kind of blow up a little bit, being like, "Oh, what the hell?" Blah 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 blah.
Really, people are negative.
I can't say my racist remarks anymore without being hit up about it.
Funny that it's almost like people they're like, "Oh, freedom of speech." It's like, okay, no, you're abusing someone. That's a no go.
Just a reminder for those of you who quote freedom of speech, and we shouldn't do that in Australia because we don't have a Bill of Rights. But freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence. So yes, you can say whatever you want, but there are consequences. Like for example, if you say something mean to me. Yes, you're quite lucky to do that, but the consequence is I'm going to punch you in the face.
Funny that.
So,
and yeah,
I was about to congratulate you on that great comment until you said you're going to punch people in the face.
It's just stopping people from being abusive and being horrible jerks. Hopefully it creates a more positive gaming community.
Yes, or I'll punch you in the face. Anyway, speaking of punching in the face, PlayStation sure did that when they released their UI earlier this week. These segues are awesome this week.
Oh, man,
I love them
I can
so
think
much.
of another word.
So the user interface of the PlayStation 5 has finally been revealed. And what a crazy world we're living in where the UI is huge news for a next-gen one.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good. I was really, really impressed. What are our first opinions of this before I go into the breakdown?
I feel like it looks great. There's probably 1,000 things on there I'm not actually going to use.
Yep.
But I still feel like it's easy to use.
But there will be people who will use it.
Oh,
I was really excited when this video came up. I was like shaking hand and trying to get to it. I really wanted to see what the user interface was because people had made such a big deal. Like, we haven't even seen PlayStation's interface yet that I really wanted to see it. And this is where PlayStation's marketing is really working. And I could feel it within myself. I'm like, everyone's like, what are they doing? They're not organized. Like Xbox has told us everything. I mean, yeah, they have, and now we've all forgotten about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now they're drip feeding this stuff to you at the right pinnacle times, and we're frothing over a user interface. I didn't even know that Xbox brought out a video of their user interface until I saw this one.
Did you see Jeff Keighley with his exclusives?
No.
No. What did he
Keighley,
do?
He's been taking pictures over in Japan. Some influencers got their hands on a PlayStation 5, and they took apart all the parts that come with it and everything, and showed the power cord against a ruler, and Jeff Keighley did exactly what we usually joke about. Is official first picture of the PlayStation 5 power cord, and posted it on his Instagram.
Amazing.
Anyway, to go through some of the new features that we've got on the PS5 user interface, it has cards and activities. This basically shows you, or cuts a game down into segments or save states, I assume, and shows you how much of that part you have completed if you're going for 100%. It also shows you, it takes in all the data about how you've been playing and the type of player you are, and will tell you or guesstimate how long you've got left to make it to 100%.
Are they your achievements and trophies it's talking about?
Yeah, well, it's percentage of that area.
So I no longer have to look at how long to beat?
Correct.
And stuff like that. Yeah, they're put in a whole bunch of interactivity within the game kind of thing. So now your trophies, instead of this being a thing that you don't know about, they're really right in your face about if you want to do this thing. And you can see here it's got in progress. So,
yep.
And if you've got a ruby, you have to collect 6 rubies. It'll go within this game, you've got 2 rubies that you've got in this level. You could go back and do the other rubies. It's just a way of bringing the trophy system as a more interactive way that's live within the game, not just a thing you look up and then come out and in. Yeah, Bray Boss?
Another little thing, you guys in the corner there are kind of covering it, unfortunately, but underneath the title of whatever you're working towards, it also has the AI-generated how long it's going to take you to complete.
Yep, we mentioned that just before as well, that, it takes in how you've been playing the game and how long the UI thinks that it will take you to complete it. Now, one thing I've seen it do is, have seen chat, is people are saying this will sort of push away the need for guides. Like, for example, IGN, who do a lot of in-depth guides about how to complete a game and where to go for these parts. You can actually get hints through these cards.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There's
and
how-to bits.
Yeah, the how-to bits, you go in there and it shows you where to go and how to get the thing. The only problem is you have to be a PS Plus subscriber in order to use these.
Oh. Yup. Triple Indie in the chat, he's kind of spoilery.
Funny you should mention that, Triple Indie, because Sony have also said that there is heavy spoiler tags that will be implemented in these things. So we'll get to the create button and how it incorporates in there, but they are being very, very careful not to spoil things. And as we're about to talk about with live chats and live viewings, if the PlayStation 5 thinks that you're playing a game and someone's a little bit ahead of you and you're watching someone, they will actually blur out that person's screen or bring up a screen saying spoilers may be contained. So they're being very, very conscious of the spoiler culture and spoilers within games and just trying to make sure that you are protected in every single way, and that's pretty cool.
Have we talked about the thing where you can do live? It's basically live chat has turned into live play, where you can play with people within picture.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Just going on to that, talking about these is destroying guides.
Yep.
Do you know how many physical guides are being released for this year?
5.
1. Cyberpunk.
Yeah, wow.
That is it.
I might get that.
Oh, here we go. We've got it up on the screen there.
Yep. So I don't want to really jump to that. We'll get to that.
Also, just in the chat, we've got some people saying, Triple Indie saying he'd still just rather turn it off. Just if it's going to be a spoilery thing, sure, you can blur it out, but if you could have an option to turn it off, that'd be interesting.
I'm assuming you can.
Sure, because it's basically you don't have to press that button.
Yeah.
To bring it up kind of thing.
So yes, you can bring in a live chat where you can have a chat party live and you can watch others while you play. So as we saw before, you can bring up your friend's screen who's playing Uncharted, and while you're playing, what's this game? Little Sackboys 3D Adventureland. You can play that and watch someone play Uncharted in the bottom left-hand screen or bottom right-hand. You can move it to any part of the screen that you like and, do
They've
2 in 1.
Basically done a whole bunch of usability to make it really, really easy to play with people online. And it looks like, if it works, it looks like it's going to be really, really good. This actually Destruction All Stars game looks awesome.
It does look a little bit fun.
What I liked about it is we saw just before how quick it was to load in.
I'm going to jump back because it's kind of ridiculous. He clicks to join the game and then it just goes instantly.
It's what, like 20 seconds?
Well, you can have a whole bunch of games. See here, join. Join.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And that's it.
He's in the game.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. 10 seconds, and he's on the title
And that's
screen.
like loading into someone else's game, like all in with your mates and stuff like that.
Now,
so,
bearing in mind, I think that may have been one of the games that was open in a tab.
Yeah, so we can
Yeah,
have
so
like
we can have
multiple
6 or
games.
something?
Yeah.
Six games open at the same time.
What's-
Which I'm skeptical on, hey.
You're
I'm
skeptical?
it's going to like
Or you're
chug
skeptical?
games.
Well,
Skeptical. I'm skeptical.
He's spectacular.
People who have had it with the Series X have said that it comfortably does it with 4 to 6 games open. And when they say open, they mean open. Like you can turn off your Series X, unplug it from the wall, let it sit there for a day, plug it back in, boot it up. Those games are still open.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Magic. I think it's magic.
It's got to be something to do with the cloud.
No,
Surely
just magic.
It's the cloud.
It's not the cloud, it's that important little rectangle.
So we've lost the share button on the DualShock haptic feedback, baby.
They just called it the create button.
And it's called the create button now. And it can be used to capture footage up in 4K. And also do quick edits and send it to friends, family, loved ones, and people you hate. I don't know why you'd be playing games with people you hate. I don't really know.
just to beat them.
So we haven't actually seen the UI yet. Here, in the video
We have. It was right at the start.
It was right at the start, with all the tabs.
Yeah.
No, those tabs aren't it. There's actually coming up here is actually what the actual interface looks like. That's within your game, your tabs.
That's your cards
That's
within
your
the
PlayStation
game.
button.
Yeah, cards
And then when you go into your actual home screen, we're about to get to.
yeah.
Do you want to jump to that now, Braden?
We
Because
certainly
we'll
can.
start talking about that now. So games and media have their own tab. This State of Play didn't go into what's on the media screen, so I'm assuming that they'll release something
This is awesome.
probably at the start of the month.
So simple.
So simple, so easy to read. I don't kind of like the way that they've got an area for ads there. Like, that's the first thing that worried me.
Well, that's not ads. That's your info about the game about it coming. Obviously, once this is all online and happening, there'll be info who's online, what's happening in the game. It'll probably have videos.
I understand,
You
but
get that
there
anyway.
is a block there trying to sell me something. And you can't tell me that if I already own that game, that they're not going to put something else there.
Well, no, I dare say that's because they're probably playing off of demos.
Nah. Yep.
And so they're showing that. And having said that, we get all of that anyway right now on your PS4 one.
Really?
Yep, it's just below it.
Oh, see, no one ever scrolls down that low, which I think is why they've redesigned it. They've got a news area, which I don't think anyone's really going to use. I mean, do you ever look at the news section on your Switch or your PS4?
Never.
Never. You go to quality sites like hackthedino.com or youtube.com/hackthedino. Be sure to subscribe. Or over on twitch.tv/hackthedino.
Right.
Press that
And
follow button.
You can follow, like, what's that word person there?
Little Fritz.
Little Fritz, thank you for the follow, buddy.
Thanks, little Fritz. Tell your
Uh,
friends.
so, look at my
Ratchet
notes.
and Clank, so cool.
The PlayStation Store is now not an app like it was in the PS4. It is now a integrated thing within the UI. So it's going to load faster. It's going to be a lot more quick to use, to load up.
It is slow now, isn't it?
It's really slow. Like, I like to look at it every Thursday afternoon when the new sales go live, just to see what's on and about. And, you know, we've got a news show that we kind of like to report on. And yeah, it takes ages to boot up. It chugs. But apparently now that it's integrated within the system itself, it is going to burn rubber.
Thank you, Gutsy Cannon, for following. We appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Gutsy Cannon.
And go over to youtube.com/hackthedino and subscribe there.
Do more things. Do more things.
Yeah. All right, we talked about the spoiler warnings on the shared media. I reckon this is really cool, and I'm really interested to see how we go there. Dan, what do you think about the possibility of watching others play and then it blanking out when it thinks it's coming up to a spoiler?
I don't think I will ever use this thing.
You'll turn it off?
Or as in, like, watching other people play games whilst I'm playing games. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I will use this feature very much. I do like that it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just to me, as a person who, when I'm playing a game, I have to concentrate on the game enough, if you know what I mean. Like, I need to, like, get in there and do it. So I just don't think I will use this picture-in-picture much. What I do, if I was going to use it for something, it would more likely be when I'm streaming a game, playing with friends, I can have their screens up if they're in the same game as me, and I can see what they're doing.
So imagine that when you're playing something like Friday the 13th and you can watch them and see where they're going.
Well, yeah, like Friday the 13th. Or if you're on, like, if you're, you're playing Fortnite or something and you're in can you be in a team in Fortnite?
Yeah.
if you're on a
Squads.
team of 4 or whatever, you can have all your mates where they are on the island. You can see where they're going. If they're not with you, you can meet up, and you're all together. You have different advantages where you've got more views of the same map. So it will definitely be a cool thing for online stuff like that. But yeah.
I just want to say, just a quick sidebar, Fortnite did their recent yearly Halloween Fortnitemares thing, where they changed the map and make it all spooky and haunty. And they've added this thing where if you die within the mode, you become a ghost, and you go around haunting people, and you can like take cars and try and hack and slash down the remaining players. It's so much fun.
I think it's about time for my 2-yearly try at Fortnite.
Yeah, we should stream it.
Yeah, we should. Dragon Lord, thank you for the
Who
follow.
in the
We
chat
really appreciate it.
Would like to see me die in Fortnite.
I know a lot of people in the chat would love to see us play Fortnite.
Maybe tomorrow night we'll boot up a Fortnite.
Oh.
And we'll have a Hack the Dino Fortnite extravaganza, and we can all see how bad these old guys are at playing Fortnite.
If you're in the chat now, you want to see us play Fortnite tomorrow night, live on thing, just go, yes.
Or go, ahoy hoy.
Or do an emote.
Or look at the Series X UI, which was released a couple of weeks ago.
So the year...
I missed this completely.
So did I. I went back and had to watch it as soon as the PlayStation 1 came out. Was it part of another video or something?
It was, yes. So the UI on the Series X only runs at 1080p. Whereas you've got 4K with the PlayStation 5. Well, I'm assuming it's because it's the UI that the Series
S
and the One also runs. So this is now. You can look at this now.
So I'm just going to say it straight away. It hasn't changed.
No, it looks the same.
Yep.
It hasn't changed. It looks the same. They've cleaned up a couple of things. Did you watch this video? No. This is the official Xbox video that they released. You know, the thing I noticed the most is they kept on apologizing for the other one, how it didn't work.
You don't do that. Xbox.
And they kept on saying, unlike the last menu, this one loads straight away and doesn't lock up. And I'm like, oh, dude, don't even mention, like you know...
Yeah, just ignore it. I have never really liked the Xbox screen. I thought the 360 one was really, really cool. The One and the One S, really
I found that if you grew up with it, you were fine with it. But coming from one to the other, it was really confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to go into menus and sub-menus and then other menus, and you just got lost in your own personal hell.
Hello, Dragon Lord.
Wasn't a fan at all. One thing I do like, however, is the Series X. Your screenshots will be, due to the cloud technology, will automatically go to an app on your phone for you to share across places.
That's pretty cool.
So you're not sitting there. You know how when you take a screenshot and you have to use your controller and take 20 minutes to write, like, hey, I'm playing Battletoads. Look at how crazy it is.
You can write with your controller.
Yeah, you can write with your controller, but it takes a long time. Whereas if you take a screenshot, sends it to an app on your phone, you can go bum, and send it off to all your socials and share where you like it.
I thought the store on the new Xbox L is a lot better. That last store was so bad. Like, you had to click into a game, then click into it again, and then click into another thing if you wanted to actually look at a video. You know, there was so many click-ins, where this one, it was like... And they mentioned that. They're like, unlike the last one, where it kept... like, you can just go straight into it. So I thought that good. But it still looks as confusing as the old one.
Yep.
Like, it's still... I know a lot of people don't... like, and this is just me, my personal preference. I just think that the PlayStation UI is better.
Yep,
but that's
a lot
just
crisper.
me. It doesn't mean that it is better. It's just that I prefer it.
I think it's a lot more
flowy.
I think it's a lot more user friendly for new people to gaming consoles.
The problem with the Xbox One is there's like 3 different versions of the menu.
Yep.
But it also looks like in this new PlayStation one that they're kind of going down that track with this cards thing. To me, looked like a different version of the menu within the menu. So I was like, I don't know about this.
Deeper down the rabbit hole.
Speaking of going deep down the rabbit hole, Series X or Xbox have announced they have 30 games available at launch. How many of them do you reckon are exclusive?
Well, none of them are.
No, so I've got a list here.
But does it matter?
Yes, because you can play it elsewhere, maybe on another next-gen system that is going to have exclusive games that perhaps you do want to play.
But they're not going for that kind of thing because they're going for like Game Pass
Running
and
a
active
different
different race. But anyway, very, very quickly, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Borderlands 3, Bright Memory, whatever that is, Cuisine Royale.
Are you going to read them all out?
Dead by Daylight, Devil May Cry, Dirt, Enlisted, Evergear, blah, 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 Fortnite, blah, 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 Watch Dogs, blah, blah, Yakuza. Now, yes, Tetris Effect as well. Now, Yakuza is a timed exclusive. I think that's the last one.
Hello again, Dragon Lord. I said it before. I'll say it again.
So, for those of you just tuning in, Dan did a lot of school talks this week. So, during the live chat, he is just saying hello to the wonderful people who he met at those chat and greets.
It's been lovely enough to come on and check out the show.
So, for who's come late, I did talks at Glenelg Primary School today, and on Wednesday, I went to Redeemer College in, what was it? Nuri.
And finally, in Xbox news, we had this teaser from the Xbox Australia team. Braden, have we got that footage somewhere?
We certainly do. I was in the middle of typing a message, but
I
it's
know.
fine.
I know. I'm such a wacky, wildly crazy man, full of fun. So it was just this here. I think it was New Zealand that they
like
took a
New
photo
Zealand?
of. Yeah. Well, it says New Zealand Daytime. Yep, that's what that stands for.
That could be graphics. Is that the new Death Stranding?
That countdown, it takes place an hour before the launch of the Series X and the Series S. So we have no idea what it is. They're being very coy about it. And, yeah, it's only Australia and New Zealand. It's not anywhere else.
I wonder what it is. Maybe it's John Jarrett's that's going to talk about the Xbox.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Put a head on a stick.
And he's going to go...
I gotta kill ya.
Speaking of killing, Cobra Kai's a great YouTube show and Netflix that has no killing, but lots of karate moves that are ridiculous. But they've also got a game coming out, and I've been trying to talk about this for the past 2 shows, and we always cut it because we always run long. So I put it to the top of the show this time. Cobra Kai is great. And the game also looks great. It is just a side-scroller beat-em-up using your karate moves, and I am here for it.
I
Kids
don't
in the
think the
chat.
game looks that good.
Kids in the chat, if you don't know what we're talking about, before you play this, go back 34 years, watch Karate Kid, time of your life, you'll love it.
I think it's all on.
Then watch Cobra Kai, then play the game maybe.
Yeah. Play the game. The game's great.
Spoilers, haven't seen season 2.
Watch Karate Kid, it's great.
Yeah. Also watch Cobra Kai, but bear in mind, that's not what real karate is at all in any way, shape,
Here
or form.
we go.
Guess which one of us does
Mr.
karate?
Karate Ben coming in with.
But if you want lessons in karate,
No,
go
not
on
only
down
that.
to
No,
Ben
martial
Rosenthal.
arts, completely out of it. You get punched in the face, you're going down. You're not going to go, oh, and then get angry and win a fight.
They're
That's
doing
not true.
the Goku Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you get punched in the face, you're going down. Like, no if, buts, or
punched
maybes.
in the face
That's
before
not
and haven't
true.
gone down.
I got punched in the face. I got real angry. Stood there for 6 episodes, getting real angrier, and my hair went gold, and I flew.
I was about to say, is that why it's all silver?
Yeah, I'm
Ultra
real
instinct.
angry. I'm.
Anyway, so this comes out 27th of October, which is next week. So I'm going to get it and probably talk about it next show. Unless it costs like $30, in which case I won't get it.
Might give it a pass.
Get on Game Pass.
If it comes out, I think it's Switch only.
Oh dear.
Uh,
Like Hades.
Speaking of the Switch, the latest Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion came out today, just before. The Crown Tundra is now available for anyone who has the expansion pass. I started playing it just before I came here, got a good 15 minutes in, and I've decided... You right there, Floppy?
Saw a comment from Downsy.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai. Oh, Ken.
Kaioken. Yeah, very good. That was very good.
Cobra Kai can.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'm going to do a podcast spoiler thingy again. So, Spoilermon is coming back to the podcast app. I'm just going to talk about Trubbish. I'm going to talk about Trubbish.
There was no image or link in the Discord doc or anything, so I just Googled
Trubbish it is.
Trubbish.
So, Trubbish is the rubbish Pokemon who's literally a bag of rubbish because
he?
they ran out of ideas.
Oh, man, they really did, didn't they?
Yep, and he evolves into Garbodor, which is an even bigger bag of garbage.
Ooh,
garbage.
The chat's asking for a bit of a live play, Ben.
A live play? I could do a live play, but I probably won't. I'll do a podcast instead where I talk about my journey and what you can expect from the spoiler-filled fun.
Got a new nickname.
It's because Ben
Fake
plays his
Fake
Nintendo
news, Ben.
naked.
Fake news, Ben.
And we can call everyone else here Overtalker.
Yep.
Okay, so, got a trailer for us to watch.
Ooh, what are we watching?
It's been revealed just how big the PlayStation 5 and the Series X actually is. We've got exclusive footage here. That's right, we use Google Earth to have a look and find out if we can see how big... There it is there, the PlayStation 5, ladies and gentlemen. It's as tall as a skyscraper. You can put your business in there and play on the inside.
Don't fly
PlayStation
into
5.
it.
I wasn't going to go there, Dan, because I have
Well, look
taste.
Is that in Microsoft?
No, this is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Reddit user OGaz has modded the next-gen consoles into the flight sim. Braden, I don't know if we got it there, but the Series X is also there.
Should be coming up, hopefully. No?
No,
this
it's
is
a
just
separate
PS5.
link. This is just the
that's a
PlayStation
separate
1. Yeah.
Bloody good-looking game, isn't it, though?
Yeah. Is that
PlayStation 5 taken
So
out.
the Microsoft Flight Simulator, is the whole world on it?
Yep. Using Google Maps.
That's crazy.
And then we can see the Series X there, just sitting in right bang in the middle of suburbia. Beautifully rendered.
Are there any videos of Adelaide on there?
Yeah, Adelaide's there.
I believe if you go back and watch Barjo's stream, I think he went to Adelaide.
Yeah.
Really?
Um,
Oh, that was great.
there's no jokes or anything here. I just really appreciate the effort, going to all that effort for a gag. But that's how big
That's
they
pretty
are.
I like
awesome.
that the logo on the Xbox lights up. That's cool.
Yeah, he went all out, didn't he? I know the PlayStation one had the blue lights and everything on it. Like,
Yeah.
actually, like, look at that. Look at that monolith.
The PlayStation looked like a casino in Vegas or something.
Xbox should change their building to that they work out of just that. Just a big monolith that apes are going to come and worship.
Speaking of apes, do you know what's not as ancient as apes? Backwards compatibility, because the games are old. Anyway, PlayStation 5 finally revealed their backwards compatibility. So I've got read from here. Oh, this could end badly.
So
Would you like
I'm
me
just going
to
to quickly
read
come
the
into
games
this
out?
just before
No,
we start
not yet.
reading. So this is that whole thing when everyone was like crying that the PlayStation isn't backwards compatible, and Xbox has said they're going to be backwards compatible with everything. And PlayStation just did the old hold the cards close to the chest, and at the right time they just said, "Hold my beer," bang, and they did this.
They have floppy.
I wouldn't say they've done the hold my beer thing because they've done one generation, whereas Xbox has done all of them. Which is
so
cool.
Sony has confirmed that 99% of your PlayStation 4 games will work on your PlayStation 5. It's as simple as putting the disc in or re-downloading the game from the PlayStation Store and installing the necessary updates. In terms of your game saves, they'll work perfectly as well. You'll be able to get your digital games, game data, and saves from the PS4 console to a PS5 console by using a LAN or Wi-Fi connection. Same with the external hard drive. PlayStation 4 games will run much smoother on the PS5 because of its solid-state hard drive and other technical stuff. However, the 1% of games that won't work on the PlayStation 5 coming from the PlayStation 4. Are you ready to be disappointed, everyone?
For the 10 games.
Floppy's going to read out the games that you can no longer play.
All right, number 1, DWVR.
Damn it! What is that?
I
Don't know.
X.
Afro Samurai 2, Revenge of Kuma, Volume 1.
But Volume 2's up?
Yeah, Volume
Apparently
2's fine.
Volume 2 is fine.
Yep.
I do like a good Afro Samurai game, though. TT Isle of Man, Ride on the Edge, Deuce. Which is actually
Right on the edge of a deuce.
Which is
That sounds disgusting.
a really quite new game, so it's weird that that's not going to run. Just Deal With It,
Never heard of it.
Shadow Complex
Sounds like a
Remastered.
So
game in the Bronx.
Shadow Complex-
Hey, just deal with it, huh?
Hey!
Hey!
Shadow Complex Remastered has been out on everything. It doesn't matter. You don't need to play that anymore.
Robinson the Journey.
Yeah, that's a
actually
VR.
a cool VR game,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
but it doesn't matter. No one
Because
cares.
there's no VR.
We Sing
Oh, but they've cancelled that on the PC4, PlayStation 4. Anyway,
because nobody actually sings.
well, some of us can.
Hitman Go?
Like, Hitman Go Definitive. I don't even know what that is. I
That's
love the
his-
Hitman
I actually
games.
really liked Hitman Go.
Yeah,
I don't know what that one was.
It's on. You can just play it on
That's
your
the little
iPad.
puzzle solvey.
It's like Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
you go
but
around
you've got the
collecting
different
Hitman
turns,
and throw your
you've
balls.
got different movements you can do. It's a puzzle game.
Okay.
Different kind of balls you throw at their
Shadwen.
face.
I beg your pardon?
Shadwen,
Shadwen.
when you need to go to the toilet.
That sounds like a really bad '90s name.
Yep.
Yeah,
And well, Joe's Diner.
oh man,
If you do want to play any of those games,
I'm getting a
it's
Series X.
incredibly bad. Looks like you're out of luck. I'm sorry.
but you see what I'm saying? Like this was a thing that people just like got up in arms about, and it just wasn't worth worrying about because like, you always knew they were going to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like
I wonder what it is about the thousands of games that will work, but these 10.
They probably do work.
Lack of
They're
support
too
from the
powerful.
devs.
These ones are too strong. They can't render them.
It's true. Like they can't even these are stronger than Crysis.
Now I was having a chat with friend of the show Havoc, good old Harry, last weekend, and we were talking about the backwards compatibility state of things. And Sony has come out. Oh no, sorry, we were talking about the game saves crossing over, and how some saves wouldn't. So, for example, Spider-Man, your save wouldn't come over from the PS4 to the PS5 to the remastered one. And PlayStation came out and said that, oh no, we've got the technology in there, so you can do that. That purely comes down to a developer choice. So the developers are in charge of deciding whether you can carry your saves over or not.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm actually really glad Insomniac are like, hey, just play through Spider-Man again, because I'm gonna.
Yeah. But it also got us thinking, so one of them, I think on the Xbox side of things, is it Drive or Dirt Drive or something like that? One of the games.
Dirt Drive.
Dirt Drive.
Show Dirt Drive.
On the Xbox, you can carry your save over from the 1 to the series. However, you can't do it on the PS4 to the PS5. And the studio that make Dirt have some kind of a relationship or have an exclusivity deal with Microsoft. So we were hypothesizing that maybe a little bit of money might be involved. Like, oh yeah, if you want to play your old game, your game save, you can do that on the Series X. But PlayStation, sorry, no. It might be a way for the new exclusivity type deals to come in, to sneak in.
Instead of timed exclusives for games, it's saved game files.
It could be. It's another way. This generation is going to be really, really interesting to see what happens with these massive companies, to see how they manage to get the one up on each other. It's we're in for a wild ride. Speaking of wild rides, Crash 4 is out.
Oh, live play.
Now, this is the segment of the show where one of us plays the game and the person who's reviewing it talks about that game. So, Dan.
I'm reviewing it, so give me
Playing it.
Let's get into this. So I can't see because bloody mic's in my way. So this is Crash Bandicoot 4, About Time. Now, you always say, I don't understand that, Joe. We'll just leave that one.
Yeah, we'll leave that one.
So developer is Bob for Toys. You may know them from making the Skylanders games back in the day, and also the Spyro remake. So they obviously did Spyro, and people were like, "Man, you did a really good job. Why don't you do?" So this is not a Naughty Dog game,
No.
which it originally was. So, this is set directly. Oh yeah. So and it's published by Activision. And I played this one, so we're playing this today on a PS4. This is the PS4 version you guys are watching now. You can see Floppy playing the Crash here. You can choose between Crash and Coco, who's from that. So this is a direct set directly. I'll go back, Floppy, to the very start there. You can see there's a TV there. You can go up to it and change channels and stuff and look at all stuff from the 90s. Yeah, you hear that?
Oh, Crash 2.
And yeah, so there's lots of stuff like that. So this is a direct sequel from Crash 3 Warp. So everything that's come after that, they've just gone, nah, doesn't exist.
I liked Twinsanity.
Oh, get out. So the first thing you probably notice is this game looks great. This is a beautiful looking game. It is very, very Crash Bandicoot. As soon as I started playing it, hearing those sounds, and the spin sound, and like the drums, and he's dead already. That is the thing in this game. You get one hit.
Yeah, right.
And then you're out. Oh,
and you can ghost yourself.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's for when you go back to replayer level, you can try and beat your best time.
Oh, okay, because I've gone back. So yeah, so you've got to go see. You can also do it in 2-player with 2 of you playing on the same screen, trying to get through each other as well. The story is the baddies have all gotten together. What's his name? Cortex and Engage, or whatever his name is. That's not his name. And they have ripped a hole in reality or whatever, and you have to collect the 4 quantum masks to rejigger reality.
No. Ripper Fight was the Ratchet & Clank game.
Oh, yeah. Every time you get one of these quantum masks, you get a new power, which you'd think would make the game easier, but it actually makes it really hard. So one of the masks, for example, the first one you get, you'll have it can swap platforms around. So then you get all these really intricate things where you jump and have to swap the platforms in midair and stuff like that. One of them is you do an eternal spin forever, but you can float when you jump. But it makes it really inaccurate to land on small platforms and stuff like that. And then one of them flips gravity and stuff like that. So, but you need these masks to get through it. So yeah, you play as Crash and Coco, but you can also play as other players. So as you get through, you unlock stuff like you can play as Cortex in some of them, and you can play as what was her name? Tammy, I think her name was from one of the other ones. And then you unlock these other characters, and then you can play alternate timeline versions of the other levels that your characters have played in before, and so you can go do different kind of things. Now this game is hard. You have two options when you come in. You can play as in the retro mode, where it's like traditional retro, where you get lives, and the more fruits you collect every 100, you get a new life, and if you die, you start from like you continue playing.
Floppy's really bad.
Yeah, it's not that Floppy's bad. Is this game is chronically 90s hard. But, so Floppy now is not playing in retro mode, he's playing in modern mode, where you get as many chances as you want, but there are like 6 jewels that you 6 diamonds that you have to collect. So one of them is like, smashing every box gets you a jewel. Finishing the level by a certain amount of time gets you a jewel. Doing this and that gets you a jewel. And the jewels unlock different costumes. Purely cosmetic stuff. But people are so into getting these things, and you can't. You just have to ignore it. Otherwise, you can't finish this game. I purposely put Floppy on the first level.
Don't tell him
so you get some gameplay.
Yeah, so...
is it in baby mode?
We'll get...
Oh, Ben's playing now.
Ben's playing. You can spin into them. And
I
kill
tried.
them.
Your timing's got to be right on it.
You do when you jump. You can see there you've got a little shadow. When you jump, you've got a little circle to where your shadow is for like all the platforming bits later on. But to tell you the truth, so this game, as you can see at the moment, we're just running towards the screen. Once you get further on the levels, you'll start going to a side scroller. Yeah, that side scroller is a little bit.
Oh, whoops! I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that side scroll is a little bit janky in the fact that you can still walk off the front of the side scrolling and stuff and that.
That was always the way, and it's kind of insane. I had my mic on mute.
Yeah, the whole day. So it's hard. It's 90s hard. It's Crash Bandicoot hard, but it is Crash Bandicoot hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the hardness they've made it made it so every single level I played, at one stage, I grabbed my controller so hard and bent it, I made it make a cracking noise.
Oh, you're one of those people. You used to bite your controllers as well, you psychopath?
No.
I know a place that does repairs.
But yeah, so I did that for every single level, and I was like, is this good or bad? And I don't know if I hated it or not, but
I guess it comes down to if you're going to play it again.
Well, you just have to really, really concentrate on every level. But the hardness is very Crash Bandicoot, and I think the hardness has made it into a cult classic straight away. People are going to vibe on this hardness. You know, people love Hollow Knight.
I love vibing on hardness.
And love Enter the Gungeon and stuff like that.
Dark Souls.
Because of Dark Souls. It's because of that hardness. It's not impossible, so you have to double jump.
Oh, I got a double jump? I didn't know that.
So yeah. So now you're onto one of these levels.
How come you've got apples? I didn't have apples.
Yeah, they're in the crates. Anyhow, and if you press like the spin button, the other buttons, you can go under the thing and stuff like that. Anyhow, so you have a couple of modes there to play with two. You have a pass and play mode, so every life you pass it to the next person, and it realizes you're doing that. You've also got modes where you got 2 of you on the screen at once, and you race through the levels at the same time, which is chaos. So you do like 3 or 4 levels, and then you go to another dimension kind of thing, which is another vibe. So there's there's a level set in China. There's a level set in wherever. This is jungle. There's a pirate level.
How do I duck?
Press down.
You got X is like you slide.
Oh. That's not X. Where's X? There it is. Oh dear.
Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can find these VHS tapes in every level, and then that unlocks a VHS level that you play, which are the cheekiest, most dastardly, ridiculously complex levels ever. You know, they're the super hard, you have to basically have 29 fingers to get through those levels, and they're there on purpose. They're there for those you know, those people that are crazy good at the game. Pass and play. Torna, that's the name of the other Bandicoot you play. And Torna was originally the big, sexy Bandicoot that was at the end of the levels in the first ones, which you can now play as well. And they've made her into this badass with her own storyline. She's got a grappling hook. It's really, really cool. Maybe.
I thought that was Coco.
So you can be Coco as well.
Coco's his sister.
Yeah.
Well, don't cast aspersions, Brayden.
My mic was on mute again.
Get the gem in the heart. Dylan in the chat saying, get the gem in the heart. So, Dylan has been playing this as well. He understands the heart of the heart of it. So my final thoughts are, it's got a lot, heaps and heaps of replayability. You go back and it gives you different things to do in every level, different versions, different everything. You can there's so much to do in this game. Like replayability is amazing. It's fun, goofy. It's Crash. It's like the most Crash game ever. Because, like, you know, Crash was originally made when they did 3D and they didn't know what they were doing. And so it was hard. This is kind of like that, but they know what they're doing, but they're making it a certain hardness on purpose. I don't like it, though. I don't like how hard it is. It makes me upset. Get the checkpoint. Nah, there you go. You have unlimited lives in that modern day, so don't go on that.
Okay.
Don't actually go on that. That takes you to a sideways scrolling.
Don't go on that. No.
Too
late. I can't possibly do it.
No. There are so many Easter eggs in this game. Nods to the 90s, nods to everything. So many little things. So many fun little bits and bobs.
Oh, is this boss time?
Just a bit of jazz is happening.
Bit of a teaser.
There's so many ways to play the game. Like, you know, you go forward, you go back, you go to this. You can do invert the levels and play them the opposite way. You can have some of your masks slow down time. You can do so many different ways. It's a very, very, very competent platformer. It's pretty much one of the ultimate platformers as a platformer game. But it has that cult level hardness to it. So overall, it has done exactly what it wanted to do. People wanted a new Crash game. They got a new Crash game. They got a polished, super duper hard platformer that its hardness level is going to keep it in.
I quite often polish super duper hard.
But have you seen here? You guys are passing and playing. It's kind of fun doing the passing and playing vibe. Except
Game Boy Dad has a bit of a tip in the chat. Hey guys, have you tried not dying yet?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Who are you? Hypnos from bloody... That's one of the guys in Hades. Every time you die, he's there waiting. Goes, have you tried not dying? Have you tried avoiding the enemy's dodges?
Good person to have around after an emergency.
Yeah. Oh, guys, have you tried not doing the thing that's directly resulting in you not succeeding? No, I haven't. Thanks for the tip.
Hello,
maybe you can give us a couple more tips.
We Are Robots are in the chat. You should go check out their custom-made controllers. We've had a couple of them on the show.
I think they did they do a really wicked Ninja Turtle one that I saw?
Yeah, that Ninja Turtle one you did, guys, was amazing.
Sick,
that went viral.
If you have any of them to just, spare.
Spare. Do you know who won't make you spare and polish till you go hard? The wonderful people who support this show and provide these goods and services.
Oh, man, I have to talk again?
No, it was supposed to be an ad, but Brayden wasn't reading the run-through.
What? What do you want from me?
Ad.
Which one do you want?
See where it says ad and advertising?
All right.
They're the wonderful people that support us.
You're just going to see me again anyway. Go. Hi, my name's Dan McGuinness, and this is Greenlight Comics. We specialise in graphic novels. We're a little bit different from a normal comic shop where we will have all our stuff in genre instead of publisher. We're really good at a membership system where you guys can subscribe to issues or volumes, and each time anything new comes in for you, you get a message to say that's in for you. We also give a reading list of everything you've bought, so you can ask us, where you're up to, have I got this, or what next volume I'm up to. Every Thursday we get a new shipment of comics and graphic novels from the US. You can subscribe to our newsletter so you can be updated that morning at 9 o'clock of all the new stock. At 1 PM every Thursday we do a live stream video where we go through and show you what new books have come out and show you the interior of them. It's called the Green Stream. Tune into our Facebook at 1 PM. We're awesome. We have an extensive range of D&D stuff, from dice to manuals to everything D&D. We really love D&D. We have a huge range of younger reader graphic novels. We think getting into graphic novels really early is really important, so we have stocked that up to the brim We believe that graphic novels is a great way to get your young reluctant readers into graphic novels, but it's also a really good outlet for avid readers as well. So come down to Greenlight Comics. We love graphic novels and we want to share them with you. Hello and welcome back to the Patreon plug section.
Wow, what an enticing description.
Did you like that? So we have a Patreon, and this is a part of the show where we thank our beautiful Patreons. I put up on screen, but I can't read them because the camera's in the way.
I will read them for you.
I will read the ones I can read. Thank you to Dat Beard, thank you to Todd Randall, thank you to Sam Beard, thank you to Karen Knight, thank you to Dylan the Villain, thank you to Triple India, that's all I can see.
Thank you to Mike Towns, thank you to Ash Knight, and thank you to Game Boy. Actually, no, not thank you, Game Boy Dad. He was giving me a hard time before. So, Game Boy Dad, thank you. I appreciate your money, but you...
So we have a Patreon. If you guys want to go support us over on Patreon from as little as $2, you can go over there and support us with a couple of bucks. You'll have your name scrolled at the bottom of the show. But if you want to do it for $10, you get your name read out and thanked personally. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on there. We have a $15 one where we draw you. You can see it over there. Right.
$10 also get the Dino More, which is an exclusive show.
Oh, yes.
Once a month, where I've just decided we're going to make fun of your names next show.
Oh, dear.
So look forward to that. We're going to give you brand new nicknames.
If you're a $15 one, Floppy, point to that badge next to you.
There.
Yeah, if you want to support us with $15 a month, you get a badge made of you, which gets cycled on the show, and you also get it a big version of it. You can do whatever you want with. You can use it as your avatar or anything like that. We also through all this, you get invited to the anyone from $2 gets invited to the private Hack The Dino Discord, which we go through and they decide what stuff is going to be on the show and stuff like that. And for $25 a month, you can get an ad on the thing, like Greenlight Comics does, and Game Boy games and stuff like that. So, thank you very much, guys. We love you guys. And if you don't have any money to give us, that's cool. Just watch us over on Twitch every second Friday, or go over to YouTube and watch us over there. And sub and follow and help us get bigger. Help us play more games. Help us help you.
And do you know who else can help you get bigger?
Weights and cardio.
Mr. Olympus.
Free games on the PlayStation 4. And
Ooh, Braden was on it then. He got in before Ben even got to finish his line.
No, I think Braden's just had enough of my crap tonight and just gone, you know what? Boom. So, free games. Who's reading these, Ben?
A whole big thing.
Yeah, we did,
Yep,
but that's all right.
Heaps. That's why I got really confused.
That's okay. We'll come back to it later.
It is true. I'll read a couple of these out. Floppy. Oh, no. Floppy, you can do the first one.
Well, Xbox, which has nothing in it.
Hang on, before we go. We're all flabblotting them now.
Yeah,
Each and every week, we bring you the best free games that are available, but they're not really free because you have to pay somewhere. But here are a couple of really, really interesting ones. And Dan is going to let us know about how you can get hold of some free Sega games. So let's go into that first, Dan.
Well, number one, you've missed out because they were only up for a day.
So get a time machine, go back in time and grab some free games. But what was free?
So as part of Sega's Sega 60, as in Sega 60th anniversary, Sega Go and all that kind of stuff, they did a whole bunch of free games that they put up on Steam that were like limited time. So the first one that up on the screen we did here, they did Golden Axed, which is a prototype of a game that they never put out, but they just decided to bring it out for this. So this is basically just Golden Axe 2.5D style. So it was up on Steam. It was all free, and it had 2 players as well. Like typical Golden Axe 3D. And this is just, they did a whole bunch of weird stuff like this. The second one that they did was Streets of Kamurocho, which is basically Streets of Rage mixed with Yakuza, the Yakuza game. So you play the main guys like Kiryu and Majima. And it is basically Streets of Rage, but with the characters from Yakuza. And it looks great.
This looks rad.
Yeah, all the music's new, all the sounds, all the characters. And yeah, just, it was up for a day. It was free. They're only like really short. There's a couple of levels for each one of them kind of thing. Like, and I love the Golden Axe one, that it was a prototype that they never brought out. And it's like, here you go, guys, have something.
I like that they called it Golden Axed.
Yeah.
Because it didn't come out.
Yeah, it didn't come out. They also did Armor of Heroes and Endless Zones. Armor of Heroes was like a retro-inspired multiplayer tank romp for 4 players at the same time, like top-down, like couch co-op-y kind of thing. That was available for a couple of days. And then Endless Zones. You guys remember Endless Zone?
No.
On the Sega Master System? Yeah. Basically like it was called Fantasy Zone here. You remember that?
Yep.
It was kind of like, it had a vibes of like Parodius. But yeah, they did a rejiggered version of that, a sideways scroller shoot 'em up, and that was available for a couple of days as well. I think they're all unavailable now, but I got them.
So,
we should have
everyone,
played 'em.
round of applause for Dan.
Thank you.
Well done,
you.
Dan.
If you want to play him, come over to Dan's place.
Yeah, come over here. And also, they're on the Xbox, they just, I noticed on the Game Pass, they put up Katana Zero XB1 version.
What was the difference? What made it an Xbox One version?
It was on the Xbox. This game, as you guys can probably remember, it got banned, didn't it?
Yeah, drug use.
Yep.
Drug use in Australia, and now it got let through. I guess they changed it or something like that. Is that what happened?
I mean, pretty much all they need to do is just change the name of the drug into like a vitamin or something.
And the drug in the game is, you can see here, you can rewind time. Apparently, that's the drug that can do that. You can rewind time. So it's not really a drug per se. No kid is going to go, man, I'm going to go rewind some time.
Yeah, if we could get those free Sega games.
Oh.
And if you are,
That's good.
if you are wanting to get more Sega news, coming up a little bit later on, we've got a little bit of a hint as to what the next Sega mini console may be. You're excited about that, aren't you, Dan? But first, we're going to talk about a game that I've been playing over the past week called Genshin Impact. Now, this was a free game or a freemium game that you can download on PlayStation 4 and iOS. It's basically been plugged as the anime Breath of the Wild.
Was it free?
Yeah, it's free, completely free.
How funny is it? As I said before, I was following this game for so long, and then as soon as it came out, I never got into it and forgot about it.
Now, you are playing one half of 2 siblings who are both interdimensional travelers. You're confronted by some godlike waifu, and she steals one of you. And you have to choose which one you want to play. You can play boy or you can play girl. And then you can... Well, that's a girl, apparently. And then you can choose that character's name and sort of modify it a little bit. You meet a Navi who's called Paimon, which, anyone who's seen Hereditary might be getting some pretty horrible flashbacks.
Hereditary?
Yeah.
Why?
That was the demon that they tried to resurrect, Paimon.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
That's a pop culture reference. Kids.
Face around the corner.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Paimon there. It's an annoying Navi type person who guides you along the way. And it's a Breath of the Wild like. You can climb anything, you can go anywhere. It uses a lot of the same mechanics as Breath of the Wild. It has a stamina bar. You can cast spells. What it does have is...
Sorry, stamina bar.
Oh, thank God you said it, because I was busting too.
What did I do wrong?
Stamina bar.
Stamina. Doesn't matter yet.
Exploration is great.
We've made him lose it. He doesn't know where he is.
Exploration is great. You can go anywhere. The linear progression, you can deviate from any time. You just can't go past a certain checkpoint, if you were. So you just saw on the screen then a lamp lit up, and that's your save state. I'm swallowing my own tongue tonight. And you can progress from there. However, I did find that in order to progress the storyline, you had to be very specific as to the markers or the spots that you had to hit to cue the cutscene in order to open up the next area. And there's nothing there to really indicate that's where you need to go. So I came over the ridge and it had an indicator as to where I needed to go, and I thought, I'll do a little bit of exploring. So I got some chests and walked around, and I got to as far as I could go. Thought, all right, it's time to move on. I went to where the indicator was to trigger the next cutscene, and it was in the middle of this grassy patch where there was nothing else. And I ended up, I reckon, for a couple of minutes, had to just wander around until I eventually triggered it.
How funny is it just seeing a girl in an elaborate goth Lolita-y kind of cake Lolita dress
And heels.
Yeah, heels climb a mountain like a rock face. Totally now, look at that little thing leaving constellations behind it.
Yeah, that's Paimon.
That's
the horror
that's
demon.
crazy. I gotta say, the grass. If this game didn't have grass that looks like that, I don't think people would have been calling it a Breath of the Wild clone. No, I think that's a very Breath of the Wild looking grass.
It is,
vibe.
but they call it a Breath of the Wild clone because you can go anywhere and climb anything. However, I think it's a bit of a misleading description because what made Breath of the Wild really good for me was the physics-based system. Like, you could be fighting a giant demon and shoot fire and there could be a lightning storm and you have a sword and it starts to spark because metal conducts electricity. So you get that sword and you throw it at the demon and it lands at the demon's feet. And then the lightning comes down during the thunderstorm and strikes the sword and it also strikes the demon, but then also burns the grass. And then you can jump on the grass and it creates an updraft. And you go up and you fly up high and then you could use your stamina to...
Stamina bar.
Stamina bar.
To fire arrows into the demon's eye. And it just all came together really, really well. You know, if you're in a shrine, you could solve the electricity puzzle by getting your metal sword and throwing that and completing it. And there was different ways you could manipulate the physics in order to solve the puzzle. Whereas this game just doesn't have that. It's very much A, B, C, D as much as an open world is.
Well, it's a lot of magic in this game, isn't there? There's a lot of like tactical magic battle systems.
Yeah, so the battle system is very much akin to Pokemon in that you get elemental powers, and elemental powers are strong and weak against other elemental powers. So obviously, if you've got a fire demon there, you would use your water powers. Stuff like that. But they talk about how things get wet and that's a little bit disturbing.
So has it got a story with an end?
It does. It does.
So it's a free game with an end.
Yes, it's a free game with an end. It's always online, which means you do get some buffering as well because Australian internet.
Do you get people playing? Can you play two people at the same time?
No, it's a single player adventure.
Why is it online?
Because it's a gachapon game. So the way they make money is you can either grind out in order to level up, or you can buy these wishes, which you can transfer into a gachapon mechanics and get higher grade swords, get other characters, and basically make the game easier. It is pay to win. They make no qualms about it. That's why it's free in the get-go. But all reports suggest that if you are happy to grind it through, you can finish the game just by not spending any money at all. But I've read reports of like some people spending $150 on it already, like 2 weeks after launch.
What is this on?
This is on PlayStation 4, PC, and Apple iStore.
I was hoping it was going to be on Switch.
One thing I do want to point out, the character voice acting is really, really good. It's just a shame that there's so much goddamn character voice acting. Like,
so much talking.
There's so much exposition. It's ridiculous.
It is a Japanese RPG, which is what they're known for, which is fine. I think this looks great. I think I'm probably going to look into this because it's free, number one.
It's free, and it's totally worth it. It's totally worth to sit down and just have a play, especially because there's not been, until Gods and Monsters comes out. Is that what it's called? It's Phoenix Rising.
There you go.
Until Phoenix Rising comes out.
Not Phoenix.
How's it spelled?
It's called Phoenix.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
So
my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Phoenix.
Yeah, maybe next time do your research, Dan. Anyway,
calm down, mate.
No.
Stamina bar.
This is great. This game looks cool.
It's like
I've got a
bar.
feeling as well that even though it looks very Breath of the Wild cloney, I feel after a while it'll really come into itself as its own game. Once you start getting into the physics and the battle system, obviously the story is going to be chronically different,
long.
Oh yeah, it's going to be traditionally long.
And they make no qualms about ripping off Zelda either. Like you cook and fires, and you go to like little encampments where like there's bokoblins there. Like they're basically bokoblins but with a mask on, and you fight them the same way you do, and they disappear exactly the same.
I legitimately keep thinking that it is Breath of the Wild that we're looking, and it doesn't even faze me.
Yep.
Like looking at
it is using a style of anime though that I don't like.
It's kind of like a cell shading.
I don't like this whatever that is, cake Lolita look like
waifu.
Waifu. That's a bit different. I do like the slashy swords in this thing, and I know each character has like she's the fire she's the fire elemental character, and the other character has different elements as their main weapons and stuff like that. So each character has a unique play style of how you do it.
And that's the thing, you get a huge roster of characters. Like there's 30 or 40 different characters you can be, and you can switch between them instantaneously. After you've recruited them, you can just jump, and it's like go in, press a button, come out, and they're there.
And
it's
they're vastly different as well. So So that's obviously a thing that's vastly different from Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. So I feel like, I mean, everyone says, oh, it's a Breath of the Wild clone. This is a Breath of the Wild clone. It's a Breath of the Wild clone. The thing is, Breath of the Wild didn't make up what it is. Like, there's always been open world fantasy games.
Yeah, but
like
not to the extent that Breath of the Wild did it. As I said, the physics engine in Breath of the Wild was completely groundbreaking, and the fact that you could literally climb anything.
Yeah, that's one. That's a mechanic it did in it, but the overall game itself isn't.
It's expanding upon the genre and what's been done before.
Yeah, where this game doesn't have some bits of Breath of the Wild, but it has things that are different, probably from Breath of the Wild and other games. So later on, how long are we going to say that stuff is just like Breath of the Wild?
Well, it's just like a Souls-like or a Wild-like, or it's
Metroidvania.
Yeah,
but Souls games, that was a complete game like style way of game.
Yeah.
Where Breath of the Wild is still just an open world like fantasy world like RPG.
But how?
Which has been made before.
How is Assassin's Creed different to Breath of the Wild? Would you call it Assassin's Creed like Breath of the Wild?
What is that?
That's a dragon.
I mean, they're all third person over the shoulders.
Exactly, but is Assassin's Creed an open world?
Yes.
Yeah,
because you can go anywhere in that, can't
it's
you?
not
Yes.
really.
It is an open world.
It is an open world, but you wouldn't say it's a Breath of the Wild like, would you?
And
Well,
one of you guys are going to go post.
why
in a
not?
minute.
I'm sorry,
we're
Floppy,
having a
what was that you
conversation.
said?
Yeah, which is fine. I can totally see that, and yeah, that makes sense. It is. Yeah, I mean that's interesting.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I think it's Breath of the Wild is enough of a deviation from the traditional open world RPG to be not its own genre, but its own label, its own grouping. So what have we got here? Mike Towns, open world has like 3 or 4 ways to go now. GTA, Red Dead clone, Skyrim clone, Dark Soul clone, and Breath of the Wild clone. That's a really good point by
There you
Michael
go.
Towns.
And that's really interesting. Like, that think that within itself, the RPG genre open world thing now has split into these 4 kind of different narratives that we go. Like, we got the clones like Souls like, Soul clone, Breath of the Wild, Red Dead clone, and Skyrim style. They are vastly 4 different games, but they're the same kind of game.
They're the same genre, but they're different mechanics.
Yeah,
if
I
you will.
just think this one's getting pushed because it does.
That's a selling point.
The world looks like Breath of the Wild's world.
Yeah.
Nothing else looks like Breath of the Wild.
It feels similar to Breath of the Wild, but it's definitely not Breath of the Wild. Like, it is a lot stiffer and a lot more rigid than Breath of the Wild.
People don't know what you're talking about. Breath of the Wild is a Zelda game.
dragon!
Look at that.
Hey, Dan.
Yes?
Floppy was saying that you're about to go postal.
Yeah, I was trying to give you a really good segue.
Yeah, I was really
but
with
we weren't
Floppy on
finished
that
yet.
one.
So,
So to this week, this is nothing new. Like, this has been out for a little while, but I know I was sitting on the Switch store and I'm like, I just bought a 512 gig memory card for my Switch.
512 or 512?
512. Yeah.
Gigabyte or
512.
megabit?
That's that. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna go online and buy a whole bunch of new games because I got room for it now. And I'm scrolling through the Switch store and I come across that. Is that Postal? And sure enough, Postal, the original Postal, has been done as Postal Redux on Switch.
Now,
We need
what
to
is
put up
Postal?
Maybe a content warning for this.
Content warning. This game's messed up. Don't watch it if you don't
No,
like
no,
If you have
bad.
kids,
it's not
if
that
you have
bad.
kids with you,
No, it actually, the original Postal is like, you'll see here, it's not that full on. So skip forward a bit, Braden, so it's like you can
yeah,
see.
but your idea of not full on.
Yeah, tell us, Limb Collector. What's your idea of not full on?
So they've remade the original Postal. Postal was just a video game, a bad taste video game where you play basically
a mass shooter.
right, a guy that looks like a school shooter or someone horrible. Back in the 90s, you're wearing a trench coat, you got a gun, you go out, and your goal was just to cause havoc, kind of thing. This game, I can't believe this game made the Switch store. And it's a redo of it, and they've done some changes. They have added new executions and suicide animations. So in the original one, you could commit suicide and you just pull out an Uzi and kill yourself. In this one, it's got new animations to whatever gun you're holding at the time is what weapon you use to commit suicide and do executions on people. So originally it was just an Uzi. Now, like, whatever gun you're holding, they have like a distinct animation. You have a rampage mode where you just go around to see how many people you can shoot in a certain amount of time. There are new levels in this version, and there's also a whole bunch of new endings. Not to mention the graphics upgrade and that. I can't believe that Nintendo has changed. Nintendo would have never put a Postal game onto Nintendo. You know what I mean? There's that classic footage of them going, Night Trap will never be on a Nintendo system. Night Trap isn't even that bad compared to... And now it's on it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got it on...
I feel that
Switch.
Nintendo is... It's either... What do you guys think? Has Nintendo lost their family-friendly vibe? Or are they just bringing out kids' games and adult games now to get all the money?
I think Nintendo... well, one of the biggest criticisms they had about the Wii and certainly the GameCube before it was that, that's the kiddie system. And they had that stigmata. Certainly the DS as well.
Stigma?
No, stigmata. They got
they bled from their hands.
Nintendo just went up on the cross and went, oh!
Reggie did come out with the holy stigmata and turn into an Evangelion and give birth to a new universe.
Stigma.
And then Doug Bowser came out of the cave.
Happy birthday, Mr. Reggie. Anyway, they did have that kids connotation. So I think this is a way of... I don't know what this is. Like, we've seen some real shovelware go up on the eShop to the point where I don't know if they even have that much of a veto process.
This game's like $40 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why people will buy it and they will make money.
Brandon's face. Also, I forgot to mention as well, there's a couple of new playable characters in it. Number one, the guy from Hatred. You know that game?
No.
Which is basically a very bad taste game on PC, and a clown that looks a lot like John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Cool.
Jesus.
Good. That's fun for all the family.
So yeah, I was just amazed. It's not brand new. It's been up for a couple of weeks or whatever. I was just amazed that this game was on Nintendo. I've always had this idea that Nintendo were the nice play games. I've always paid out Ben for playing kiddie games and stuff, but don't get me wrong. I've come to admit it. My Nintendo Switch is my console of choice at the moment. It's the one I played the most, and because it's got Hades on it, and everyone knows that Hades is going to be Game of the Year.
Hades is so good.
I'm going to call... Oh, yeah, you have it now, Brayden, don't you?
Yep, Michaela and I are playing through Hades. Oh my god.
Have you done a run yet?
Yes. No, I haven't finished, actually survived a run or anything.
Oh, man.
But, we are just loving playing.
I found out today that to roll credits on that game, you have to finish it 10 times.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Cool. That'll be so long for me.
But you keep on getting more powerful, and oh man, the God storylines are getting so good.
Dylan got Hades as well.
Do you love it, Dylan? In the chat,
We're doing Supergiant's work for them.
oh man, so good. It's my game. I'm gonna call it now. It's my game of the year. I think it's gonna be game of the year because there are so many. Everyone who's played it just like. Do you think it's game of the year, Braden?
I can definitely see it being up there. I'm interested to see what the wider gaming community think of
This
it.
is like
Because I know that the internet's thirsty as hell for it.
these roguelike games and procedurally generated games. This is the quintessential. Is that the right word?
It is a good word.
You're asking the wrong person.
This is the best one ever been
bar.
created because it never feels like you're repeating, and every time you die, you want to go back. You want to hear what everyone's going to say to you, and each time you go back, everyone you talk to talks about what you did in the last run and stuff. So it's always evolving and talking to you and acknowledging what you've done. It's amazing.
Speaking of acknowledging what you've done, Sega likes to acknowledge what they've done. Not the failing side, but the good stuff they did. Recently, Sega's mini chief, Yosuke Okunari, said that fans could expect another classic console very soon. He says, and I quote, "I think for the next one," referring to mini consoles, "we may go with a concept close to the Mega Drive Mini. If I had to say some names, it could be an SG-1000, which was the original Sega machine,
I don't want that.
or a Dreamcast Mini."
Oh my god. Ooh. Oh my god! A Dreamcast Mini is where it's at, man. No one's going to care about the SG ones. Especially in Australia, which we never got.
He continues, quote, "The Game Gear Micro is only sold domestically in Japan. When we do the next one, I feel like the project scope will be much bigger as we gaze upon the world. So we won't be able to release it at this time next year or in 2 years after the Mega Drive Mini. We can't make them that quickly." So, my question to you is, Dan, why are you so excited about this?
I guess I'm just excited because Dreamcast was one of my up there with one of my favorite consoles. It has the best memories. I was trying to work out if they make mini cards as well. I'd be down. Yeah, because the Dreamcast came with the controller with a little memory card that you put in and you can play. So if they did one of them, it would seriously be as big as a Smartie. or a Sultana.
Smartie.
A Sultana.
Didn't it have a screen on it?
Yeah, it had middle mini games on it. So basically, I loved it because, like, number one, you had these like ridiculously good arcade style games on there. Number two, you had 4 ports on the front. I know that doesn't sound very good, but back then when every console just had 2 ports at the front, they put 4. You could buy 4 controllers.
Sorry, every console?
64?
They never had a 64.
Was it before the 64?
No, 64 came a long time before it.
You're
Yes,
right.
Dan.
The 64 does have that.
Yeah, who would have thought? I'm right about something Nintendo.
Yeah, so it had that. That's one of the reasons I liked it. Because I didn't have a 64. At the time, I gotta say, I think the graphics were the best console at that time. It was easily the best, crispest graphics. It never had load screens. It did have load screens, but like it always worked. It just died because of Sega's bad marketing. Like, Sega really died at the end. Their whole marketing team, everything just went kaput after the Mega Drive. And there's actually that doco, that one up on the thing at the moment, which shows like the marketing in Sega. And Sega had a rivalry with Sega America. And so they had a rivalry within their own company, so they were kind of sabotaging themselves. And I reckon it all just blew up in their own faces. Anyhow, that's fine. But
random thing, like, kind of in the opposite vein of that, one thing I've found since running the Hack the Dino Twitter with Ben, all of the different regions for like Xbox and Bethesda and all of that, they all tweet at each other 24/7. They love themselves. Like, all of their different accounts and everything, they are constantly adding each other.
I think that description accurately describes all Xbox people. Braden slinks away.
Anyhow, and then they had their games. They had these really distinctive, really Sega-y, really crisp games. And I've just got some of the ones here that I had that I love that like feel so much like a Dreamcast game. So stuff like Space Channel 5. Do you guys remember that game?
No.
Where you're the girl and you dance, and like your name's Ulala. Anyway, Soul Calibur. That game was such a good fighting game. Like, it was so good. Crazy Taxi. Bloody Offspring. Yeah. There we have it. Yeah. Ooh la la. And it was this weird dancing game. It was amazing. Like, Jet Set Radio. Open world.
That was on the 64. No, that was Jet Set Gemini. Sorry, my mistake.
Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio, whatever it was called. It had 2 names kind of thing. Where open world, rollerblading Tony Hawk's kind of game. And you're running into graffiti as well. With amazing music. You had Shenmue. Such a cool game.
Yeah.
I loved it at the time.
You do nothing but rip on it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it though. It was so unique and amazing. You had Resident Evil Code Veronica on there, a crisp at the time with the best looking Resident Evil. Oh, nice one, Brady. Like, if you look at these graphics, like, so crisp, like 3D moving camera Resident Evil kind of game.
What year was this that came out?
I can't remember what.
99 maybe.
Okay, that looks really freaking good for that.
Man, Power Stone, 4 players at the same time, bashing each other up to try and bash the kind of like a Smash Brothers vibe, but you were trying to beat each other up enough so they dropped their crystal, and if you got all 4 Power Stones, you powered up into a massive beast, and then you could kill people off. It was amazing. Typing of the Dead.
Oh yeah, this game rules.
This is the idea of this game. So everyone knows House of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have Typing of the Dead, where you had the Dreamcast keyboard, and you had to type out phrases to kill the zombies. And can you find a cutscene in this, Braden, of when it shows you the characters? It actually they have a little keyboard on them and a Dreamcast strapped to their back in their cutscenes. Like, so it's the same game, but like, have you got it?
It's about to come up.
But it's touch typing with zombie killing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So instead of shooting, you type the words that come up in order to kill the zombies.
Weird, and
Are you sure it's going to come up, Braden?
I thought it was. Let me. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, look at you guys. There's a Dreamcast on your back.
That's the best.
This game is really expensive now, as are the keyboards.
It's shit games. Of course, it's expensive.
Then you had Dynamite Cop, which was released here as Dynamite Cop. It was actually Die Hard Vendetta or something in other countries, where you played as 2 players, beat them up, and it was just everything was a weapon. You could grab anything: pot plants, couches. You could get a ballistic missile and throw it into the screen and blow everyone. It was so fun. Sonic Adventure.
Could blow everyone.
Not the best Sonic game, but still like this 3D amazing one where you're going like, there was like it just was crisp. It worked. Except when you hit the screen.
I love
This
Sonic games.
is the hub world. This is the worst example. Anyhow, just stuff like that. Everything was so Dreamcast. It had its own voice for the UI when you boot it up and it goes, please put a game in. You know, that full Sega voice and stuff like that. It was online. So it was the first console that I really knew that had, like, you could plug your modem into the back of it. It had a keyboard. You could surf the net on it. You had Phantasy Star online. Surf the net. You had Phantasy Star on it. It had Seaman on it.
Seaman.
It had so many peripherals as well. You had the bass game, the bass fishing game. Like, people still say it's one of the best fishing games that there was with the fishing rod and stuff. You had bongos and congos. You had everything. Like, it was just a great console. If they could put 40 games on this what's it called now? Dreamcast Mini. It's gonna be rad. It's such a good console. Like, and I just do not want the SG1.
Was the Dreamcast the one where you could put illegally burnt discs in it? And it
didn't have any piracy protection.
I should put that on.
As I was saying before, the memory card. So memory cards, PlayStation. The memory cards actually slotted into your controller. But the memory cards had an LCD screen on them, so you could actually see stuff on there. So if you're playing like a game against people, you can look on your controller and actually have like a little like a HUD to say information, so other people can't see it. And I'm like, why don't we have that now?
They did. It's called the Wii U.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But that was a big controller kind of thing. But then you could take your memory card out, and it would have two little buttons on it and a controller. And when you saved your game onto it, it would put a mini game onto your little controller. You would play that mini game through, and then once you finish it, it would save something to your save game. And then when you went back into the other game, you'd have a new item. Like if it was Need for Speed, you have a new car or something, or Daytona. Like,
that's such
a good console. Like, it was just too good.
Too good. And that's why it's one of the top selling consoles. Oh.
Well, they never made it. Sega failed at that time. This is like the death of Sega. It didn't die because of the Dreamcast. No, the Dreamcast itself didn't kill it. No. Marketing killed it. Like, Sega themselves, like, imploded on themselves. It was nothing. I don't think it was anything to do with the actual Dreamcast. They made a really good console. There's no reason why it would kill the company. Or is it?
Dun, dun, dun. Find out next time on Hack the Dino. Last topic before we get into Dan versus the World. Avengers, the game, the Destiny-like big super bama jammer ding dong. That's the new Avenger name. It could be in trouble. It could be in deep, deep trouble. A lot of people now who have bought it. How long has it been out now? A month?
More.
More?
2 months?
2 months. So a lot of people have reached level cap, which I think is level 150 for each character. And after you finish the game, which admittedly all reports say that the single player is really, really good, all you've got to do until they release a next character with another storyline is to do these capture the flag missions or these grind missions, which are pretty much the same each and every time. And you just go in and you just grind out your levels until you reach the 150. And then when you reach the 150 level cap, what do? Well, you wait for the new DLC, the free DLC that's coming out, and it was supposed to be coming out in October with Kate Bishop, but it is being delayed from October to an unspecified date in the future.
Wait, what? I did not know this. What?
Yeah, everything's been pushed back.
They're taking the road of the Dreamcast.
Yeah, so all right, Brayden, you obviously.
Sorry, this is this is fresh wound to me.
What do you think?
That really disheartens me. Because the main point with this was that it's the online, they're always going to be updating it and stuff. They're going to be adding story and everything. And now it's the one they even had us excited for is now indefinitely.
Not indefinitely, unspecified date.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be out in October, and I think it originally got pushed back because of Chadwick Boseman's passing.
Yeah.
Black Panther was going to be apparently revealed, and then out of respect, they didn't.
Yeah, that's
now, obviously, something else has come up. Kate Bishop's been pushed back, therefore Hawkeye's been pushed back, therefore you can assume Spider-Man for the PlayStation version has been pushed back. Along with their missions, which was in order to keep people coming back. We're already seeing a consequence of this. as the player base has dropped off dramatically, especially on Steam. It's down to active user base of only 2,000 people. So what you need to do, especially in these Destiny-like games, is to be able to create a squad of 5 people in order to go out and do these grind missions. But if it's dropped down to 2,000 people actively playing it,
that's nothing. You won't even get games.
You won't get a game.
You can only play it with your friends if you get together and play it together.
Yeah.
The problem with this game is the story was really, really fun.
Yep.
And then it just kind of dropped the ball. They were because they were trying to create a Destiny kind of game.
Absolutely, 100%.
And they just haven't kept up. Like, I thought they were just going to continuously bring out characters week for week when it first came out. I thought they really needed to bring out lots.
I would think monthly would be a more
I was assuming
appropriate.
monthly.
That's what I mean. Like, I thought we'd have like 3 or 4 new characters by now.
Or not even characters, not even characters monthly.
Just missions.
Characters every like 3 months and like decent-sized story chunk missions every month.
You've got these really detailed story levels in it, but then what they've given you for these online things are just these really not thought out,
grindy
really
fetch
cheap,
quests. Yep.
Yeah.
cheap, weird, boring levels to do in between. That like you can tell that it's like it was an afterthought. They were just like, oh cool, we've got this cool game, and they're like, dude, you got to pad it out a bit more. And they're like, okay.
Well, admittedly, I think that's what they were relying on. They were relying on these new characters to come in with like their 5-hour storylines in order to keep you interested and keep you invested. New character that you get for free, and another character to level up. And now that 150 is a pretty high level in order to reach, especially if you're just grinding it out. To get all of them done, and I think the idea was that they'd bring out another character or 2 before you'd maxed out all those 150 levels. So even for the hardcore gamers, there was something to come back to. And then the new characters coming in, not only would that bring delayed players back in, it would also give the guys who played every day and get their daily tasks completed an opportunity to grind even more or extend that grinding. Now a lot of these hardcore players are done leveling up their entire team to 150 and don't have any more characters to level up. They're just twiddling their thumbs going, well, if it's delayed. My big worry is for this game is that, so this is Square Enix, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do a lot of other big games. They've got another one coming out. What's that called? Final Fantasy 16 or something?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, Final Fantasy 12 is still huge.
Yeah,
the online one.
This game is a huge budget muncher. Like, it's got Marvel characters, it's got everything like that. How long before they sort of see, all right, it's been delayed too long, the player base is falling, we're going to take some of the budget and just put it into something that we can actually make money on? Because if the player base isn't there, then they're not selling these season passes, they're not selling these peripherals that you can get, they're not selling these costumes because no one's playing it. I actually think this is a really, really bad time for the Avengers.
I think this is a very interesting time to be reflecting on before this game came out, when everyone was very concerned for the fact that it was trying to go for this, Destiny Anthem-esque online thing, because I thought people were excited initially because they were hoping it was going to be a story-based single player or co-op, like just that enclosed. But then when it became this Destiny-like, everyone had these concerns, and now it's happening. It's all the concerns were right.
First up, hello to Charles in the chat. How you going, mate? Secondly, I'm really surprised when this game came out. I'm surprised. I thought there was going to be a really big roster as soon as you got it of characters that you were just going to unlock in the story mode. I thought there was at least going to be 20 characters you could choose from.
Do you know what game does that really well?
Marvel
Alliance?
No, Avengers. Lego Avengers.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand why they couldn't have just put in like 20 characters. And then I thought the Kate Bishops and like the Hawkeyes, and they were just going to add on top of that. But I thought it was going to have quite a substantial roster of characters when it first came out. And I was shocked to find out it is like, how many is it? 4? 6?
4.
5.
Announced, but it was an ongoing one. Like, it was ongoing. Just the fact that they've delayed it now.
No, but I thought that it was still going to have a lot more than it did out of the box.
Out of the box, it should have had 20.
And I think that, that's what I mean. It should have 20. And I think that, and that would have like given you a big block of game at the start. And I thought that the Hawkeye and all the were just going to be like, gravy on top. But instead, they're the core game.
I am honestly surprised that they didn't even do the kind of thing where they could have added a bunch more characters if they're using the same base mechanic thing. So if you've got characters who have similar powers, they control the exact same and everything. It's basically a skin.
So like you had Iron Man and War Machine or something.
Yeah,
like that.
if they did stuff like that. But
and that would have been fine.
They didn't even do that.
And then tweak it a bit. Like how you can upgrade your character, you can upgrade all your weapon system and that. Have it that they start off as basically clone characters, but as you upgrade your weapons, they've got different types of weapons within each thing. Where Iron Man has the missile launch out his back, like War Machine might have his Gatling gun come up and stuff like that. But you start off as clones and you branch off and change your characters within the moveset and stuff like that.
I mean, it's a good idea, and it is
makes sense.
It does, but we're also not game developers. We have no idea of the restraints that were put on. With,
we tried putting War Machine in the game, and he broke the whole thing.
So we don't know. Marvel obviously had a timeline that they needed this game out in order to encapsulate. Square Enix obviously had a timeline when this needed to come out. Crystal Dynamics were obviously working under a lot of pressures in order to get a game out. If they want, Square Enix said, we want a Destiny we want a really good one-player game. I haven't designed a game before, but I reckon that'd be a pretty hard slog. And just the fact that you get 10 players within the first year, that's not bad. For all intents and purposes, the single-player storyline in this was quite good. It's just that it was, once it's done, it's done. Maybe they shouldn't have pushed for the Destiny-like so far. Maybe they should have released the single-player storyline and said there's more to come down the track. And then you release a mission, sort of break up what they have now. Obviously, what's going on in the world has put a spanner in the works of everything. And
we can accept that.
Yeah, and we've just gone off the tangent.
Let's do it.
I'm worried about this game. I am worried that it may be going the way of Anthem.
Well, the only thing that can save it if they just bring out a buttload of content that is fulfilling and awesome. Because at the moment with a player base of 2,000, it was 5,000 the other day, and I scoffed at that. And now it's gone down to 2,000. That was 2 weeks ago. So that's nearly an unplayable online game. You can't get a match with 2,000 people, kind of thing.
I just did a calculation before for 2,000 people. If all of them are 4-player games, that's only 500 games.
I like that you had to use a calculator for that.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I was.
Okay.
Hey, I work at Greenlight Comics.
I suppose I am here.
Do you know who else works at Greenlight Comics, Braden?
Who?
Dan works at Greenlight Comics, and he's the titular character of Dan versus the World, which is what we're going to play now.
Versus the World.
I work there now, so I'm allowed to
I don't
make
have
fun
my
of it
glasses.
Oh dear. Dan's going to get his glasses, and I'm going to explain the rules. This is Dan versus the World, where Dan, representing Dan, takes on the world, which is represented by Braden and Floppy and you. But make no mistake, you're not involved in this game, so shh, don't. Just quiet.
Yeah, it's quite confusing.
Leave it
You're part of the team, but
It's
don't
fine.
answer.
Me and Floppy have both taken off our glasses, put sunglasses on. We're both very blind. We cannot read the chat now. So if you're talking to me, I can't hear it.
But Braden can.
If you talk to me, I can't hear it. I can't read it.
I also can't read my notes.
I have 4 songs here from video games past, present, or future. I'm going to play the first 5 or so seconds of the song that I have on my laptop here.
Have you got that hooked up?
I am. Just calm down, Dan. I've done this before.
You've also stuffed it up before.
Shut the hell up, Floppy.
Can't do that. It's not in my nature.
I'll play the first 5 seconds. Dan has 5. I'm yelling now because you got me worked up, Floppy. This is all your fault.
I get everyone worked up, mate. It's a gift.
No, you don't. You really don't. First 5 seconds of the song. Players will take turns backwards and forwards, blah, blah, blah. Guess the song. They got 5 questions. Whatever, you'll pick it up. Okay, here we go. Here's the first song.
Mike Towns guesses Mario.
Mike Towns, you're a silly man.
I just won. He's guessed.
Dan was on 36, the world's on 38. Here we go. First song. It's a bit quiet.
Can't turn it up.
Okay, Dan, question number 1.
You could turn it up on that.
No, it's a very quiet song. The next ones will be loud.
Let me check my notes of questions I have pre-organized. Is it a AAA game? Would you say? And if not, what A is it?
That's 2 questions.
I'm just going to say yes. All right. For argument's sake, yes. World. Question number 1.
Now, Floppy, it sounds like a bit of a dark, kind of spooky kind of
I
vibe.
was going to say that.
It is Halloween.
I had a question in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind, Brayden?
Go for it.
Have we talked about it this show?
No.
Okay.
Dan, question number 2.
What? Who is it? A handheld game?
No, it is not.
Good question.
It has appeared on handhelds, but this particular version is not.
Is this the original version?
This is the original version.
cool.
There you go. You got a freebie. World. Question number 2.
What character are you? What do you control?
What,
Who are you?
what is you?
Who are you?
You can choose your character.
Okay.
From a roster of characters.
Correct. Question number 3, Dan.
Did this come out in the last 10 years?
No.
Oh.
Question number 3, World.
Who is the developer?
What's a hard one?
Developer was.
Would you want me to change question?
Well, I mean, it's just that they're called something different now. So I don't know
Double clue.
Ooh.
how I should answer that.
Originally, what were they called when they developed this game?
They didn't really have a name. They were doing it under the operation of a publishing company. So I guess I can name the publisher.
What was the name
do
of the
that.
publishing company, Ben?
Midway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Question number 4, Dan.
What was it? What did it come? What is it on?
This particular version is on the arcade. Question number 4, World.
What's your main set of scenery that you're in? Level design.
The level design. You're on a 2D. Like, do you want description of where the game takes place, or do you want
Was it a sandy desert? Was
Yes.
it a spooky castle?
It could be all of the above.
What's like the main one you associate with this game?
Temple.
Okay.
Dan, question number 5.
I know what it is. I'm not going to narrow down which one it is.
Well, your opposition may also know it.
Is it? Going to take a chance. Is it Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Oh, you can't let him finish.
I like that.
I was just going to see if you were going to wait for me to keep talking. I was about to say,
Good word.
So Dan's on 37, the world's on 38.
Did you know, Brayden?
Nah, I had no clue.
did you know Floppy?
No.
Hey, did you know Floppy?
Midway. It's the only thing they've ever
Floppy.
made.
Floppy, had
okay.
you not given me crap before, I probably wouldn't have let Dan have that one. But
Did I give you crap?
I think if you listen back to the show...
Flawless victory. The chat's going. Thank you very much.
Here we
Thank you very
go.
much.
Song number 2.
You give you soft songs.
Snake Eater. No.
Sounds
Question
like
number
some
1.
anime.
Dan.
How quaint. I have to ask some different questions. What tools do you use in this game?
As in fighting implements or...
Just give us something.
Swords.
Swords. Swords?
Swords.
Swords.
World, question number 1.
Does it originate from Japan?
Yes. Question number 2, Dan.
What? I'm trying to find the game. What genre of game is this?
It's a adventure RPG.
Okay. Floppy, do you want to jump in?
Question number 2.
What art style is it?
Thank you.
It's very anime-esque.
Yeah, I was assuming that.
Question number 3, Dan.
Did it come out in the last 10 years?
Yes, it did. Question number 3, World.
Did we ask what console it came out?
No.
What console did it come out on?
It's come out on PlayStation 4 and PC.
Oh, okay.
And Apple, I think.
Is it Genshin Impact?
Yes, it is!
I had to go back through the notes to remember what it was called.
Oh, Dan, you've tied it up.
I
38
was
each.
gonna say first Fire Emblem, but that's why I asked the 10-year one to see when it came out.
See, I was gonna say Final Fantasy 15.
I
I was
am
thinking of Final Fantasy, but
a game guessing god.
You are. You're doing really
You're
well.
a
Okay.
good.
Song number 3. Here we go.
I've lost my question. Oh,
Told you.
go back. That's hot.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's so hot.
Question number 1.
What haven't I? I'm gonna ask an easy one. What console or whatever? What's it on?
Nintendo 64.
Oh my god.
Question number 1. World.
Was the voice at the start of that music in the game?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
As in,
like
part
it
of
wasn't like just the
This is
song.
a direct rip from the game.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Question number 2, Dan.
I reckon I might know this. I reckon. Have you talked about this recently to someone else?
I talk about this game quite a bit.
I suppose that's a waste of a question.
Because I don't talk about any other game, just this one. World, question number 2.
Who do you play as?
You don't actually see who you play as,
Okay.
but it's a humanoid.
Okay.
We know that much. Question number 3, Dan,
Should I say yes? I'm going to be wrong, but should I just try?
if you want.
Is it Blast Corps?
It's Blastcore!
Kidding me?
Oh,
Jesus.
Dan!
A clean sweep.
Only
Holy
because
smoke.
recently I played that and I recognise that voice.
The voice at the start.
Because
Wow.
you're always wanking onto me going, oh, we should play Blast Corps. And I saw you talking to Cobra Jobra, whatever his name is.
Cobra Commander.
What's his name?
Jobra Cobra.
Jobra Cobra about it today in the Discord.
Yep.
On the Hack The Dino Discord. And I was like,
Blastcore is such a great game.
can't believe I just...
Damn.
So, Dan, you're on 39, taking the lead. The world's on 38.
I
Okay,
am a
here we
gaming
go.
god!
Song number 4, Can the World Get
Oh, I didn't know there was
This?
another one. I thought it was the
Yeah.
end.
No, we got
I
one
keep
more.
forgetting that this
At my arm.
One more
We gotta get it, Braden.
to tie this up. Otherwise, you're going to be really embarrassed because Dan's been on a hot streak
streak
lately.
the last couple of weeks.
Here we go.
Oh! Sounds like every Eddie Murphy film from the 90s.
Okay.
Enough.
What would this be in?
My...
What would the context for that being in a game be? What?
Question number 1, Dan.
I'm just going to have to... What genre of game is that?
It is a linear adventure game.
Is this a handheld game?
This particular version isn't, but it has appeared on handhelds, I think. Don't quote me on that.
Can you say... This isn't my question, but is it the first version of the game that we're doing?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
It is
It's not my question.
Question number 2, Dan. Oh, wait. Oh, this is my question, but can you answer this question?
Yeah, I thought... What's the art style of the game, if you don't mind telling me?
It's animated CG style.
But cell shading? Is that what you mean?
No.
Animated CG. So
yeah.
pixel animation.
Not really.
Okay. So it's just art.
no, I
have a
can't
question,
say it without
Brayden.
giving it
Okay.
away.
I have a question,
It's
Braden.
just graphics.
It's just your basic graphics. No. All
How
right.
many characters can you play as?
A lot.
Yeah.
Question number 3, Dan.
Oh no, Floppy might know it. What's a game that's got ridiculous amounts of characters in it?
Lots of them.
When we're saying a lot, is this a lot? A lot?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
What is a game that has the most characters you can play as?
Wait, how are we narrowing this down, Floppy?
Are you on the same page as me?
Yeah.
Wait,
but
did you say? Wait,
Hang on.
But
I'd
there's
just like to rectify a previous question. I was incorrect. This version is the handheld version.
handheld.
Handheld version.
What
I know
genre
what it
did
is,
you
Brayden.
say it
okay.
was?
Okay.
Sorry?
You got it.
What genre did you say it was?
It's like an adventure game.
So like walking around a world.
Yeah, like a walking around.
Like an open RPG or RPG.
Yeah, but you're following a linear path, so it's not really open.
And you can be heaps of characters.
Mm.
Oh man, I don't know what this is. I guess Floppy does though.
Oh shit, it's one of two.
Exactly. That's what I was worried about. So I was
Dan
like,
has no idea, so you could probably burn a question.
Is it? I'm just gonna guess.
No, don't guess. Give them some highlight. Don't let them win by default.
because whenever
Ask some
Dan,
questions.
because whenever Dan randomly guesses, he gets it.
Ask a question, Dan, if you don't know it. Try and narrow it down.
Have we mentioned the name of this game in the show?
Yes.
Floppy.
So, Braden, I was playing a specific handheld console for the last couple of weeks
Ah.
that I have.
Can I say what I
Go
think
for
it
it.
is, but it doesn't count?
No, you can say it after floppy
Afterwards.
guests because you might be incorrect.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Do it.
So I was playing my Vita.
Yeah.
Is this Lego Avengers?
It's like yes!
Is there like a dance break version
Do you
of
know what
it?
I was going to say?
It's the disco version.
I was
Oh
going to
my
say Marvel
God.
Ultimate Alliance 2.
Oh.
Why is there a disco version of the Avengers?
Because
theme
it's
in there?
Lego and they like doing
Lego
wacky
do
stuff.
weird
Oh, was that the
things.
Avengers theme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Disco
didn't-
stuff in Star Wars ones as
Oh,
well.
that's all right. In the original
in the
Lego Star Wars
cantinas and
Attack of the
stuff.
Clones, you could go into the
Oh, thank Christ.
Camino level, and there was a dance. You did a puzzle
Yes.
and got a disco.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm not completely useless.
The end
Hell yeah,
of
Floppy.
that round of Dan versus the world. We have got Dan on 39 and the world on 39, hurtling ever so quickly towards the end of year spectacular. We should probably think about what we're doing for the end of the year this year because we won't be doing a live show. Anyway, Braden, take us out. We've been Hack the Dino. This has been our live show, or if you're listening to the podcast, not the live show. You know, choose your poison. You can find us on a plethora of things, but before that, Dan, do you have anything that you do when you're not on Hack the Dino?
I also do a podcast, an audio podcast called Terrorvision Horror Podcast, which is me and Jennifer the Batman Strand, or Jennifer the Dream Warrior Strand. We choose a horror movie for the week, and then we go in.
Do you call her Jen Stranding?
No, I should though. I will next time.
Oh, that is golden.
We go in and we dissect the film. We pull it apart. It's a total spoiler cast. We go through chronologically every single scene and talk about every scene and pull it apart and laugh about it. And it's just a great romp. We do one film and we also do horror news. Like any new news. Look at those ones. Oh, there we go there. You can see it there. We're up to episode. What are we up to? What was the last one we did? We did
24.
Death Proof, Terrorvision. So check that out. Go over to SoundCloud and follow us there, or do whatever. We also have it's on YouTube as well, but it's just an audio podcast. So that's what I do. That's another thing. Do that.
Braden, what do you do?
I do a little show with my friends called Millennial Movie Talk, where we discuss movie news for everything. We talk about what we've been watching, and we also set homework every week. You can go and find that.
Sounds heaps fun.
I mean, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I've been watching some movies I would not have watched ever before.
I just meant the homework part.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants to
Because
join
of
in?
the homework part. Because someone else sets a movie that you might not always watch, like Evil Dead 2.
Have you watched Evil Dead 2, Braden?
Never
Just
watched
it
Evil
for the
Dead.
first
Have you
time.
seen Army of Darkness yet?
Nope.
Braden,
This-
can we please watch it with you?
Is my boomstick.
What did you
Okay.
think? What did you think of Evil Dead 2?
You know what, Dan? You'll have to listen to episode 80 of Millennial Movie Talk to hear that, and you can find that over on Spotify.
I saw the thumbnail of it, and it didn't have you in it.
That is correct, but I wrote in my thoughts. It was my dad's birthday. Happy birthday,
I'm
Dad.
not going to do
Happy
that.
birthday,
birthday,
Mr.
Dad.
Millennial Falcon.
If you do also want to hear about Evil Dead 2, we do an episode.
And if you'd like to hear about Evil Dead 2, I'm going to talk about it down at the bar a little bit later on.
Retro Trigger.
Just to whoever. Actually, I should do an Evil Dead special for Retro Trigger.
Dude, if you need someone to talk about that.
Ooh.
I'm free.
Floppy, what do you do?
I occasionally throw pictures of stuff that I buy up on Instagram at Floppy Plays Games. You may see things like Super Metroid on the SNES. Thought he cut away from there. And things like Apache Aerosol on the PS3. Two of my latest pickups, thanks to Game Boy Dad in the chat.
Hey,
cool
Floppy,
guy.
Floppy,
Yes,
just
mate.
just scroll up, Braden. See how many posts you got?
You can't
Nice.
post anymore.
Yeah, that's it. Floppy's
That's it.
done. He's got
Not
69
doing any-
posts.
not doing any more ever.
So don't
I
bother
may
following
put this
him.
one up though.
That's pretty cool.
Just take some others down.
Yeah. So where's that? Floppy Plays Games.
Floppy Plays Games.
And I do a side project called Retro Trigger, where we delve into anything that's considered retro, which is 15 years from release date. We have got Mr. A Game talking Nintendo 64, and he's got a really, really cool story about how he possibly had the very first Nintendo 64 in Australia in his possession when he was a kid. It's a really cool listen, so head on over to the Hack the Dino podcast feed. It's on there. Search for Retro Trigger with little hashtags. It should come up somewhere. And do all those things. It's also in the chat if you want to get a direct link to it right now. But if you are tired of not clicking things on the Clearboard? The Clearboard. That's what
clicky
they're called
board.
now. You can head on over to youtube.com/hackthedino and hit the subscribe button and like the little videos that have gone up. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been a little bit stupid and done exclusive reviews. The very first review of the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation Series X. We've got a lot of hate for that, so that's great. It was what I was aiming for. We are also live on Twitch every fortnight, so head on over to twitch.tv/hackthedino and press the follow button. It's very free, very awesome, and you can
Very free.
join in the great chat people we have, like We Are Robots are in there, Game Boy Dad, Michael Towns is in there, a whole bunch of people are chatting live. They're all very nice.
I just
people.
want to
Nice
also
looking
bring up
people.
again, We Are Robots. That controller, that Ninja Turtle controller you made is amazing.
Oh.
And Braden, can you find that quickly?
I
yourself?
can quickly.
is.
Let me
Find
find
it
it.
in the
The
chat.
bomb.
I have never seen a controller that good.
And Dylan Stevens recently took that controller out of his protective case and saw
Not
that we
the-
actually signed it.
Not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
The one that we give away for our 100th show.
Yeah, we gave away for our 100th show We Are Robots Hack the Dino controller. It was amazing.
Yeah, and other thing. There it is.
Oh,
Yep,
look
Brian
at that.
Altano was very, very impressed.
Brian Otano put it up. That's crazy, dude. You've
Comes
made
with
it.
pizza.
Someone may have pointed him in the right direction, right, Braden? And you can listen to us over on soundcloud.com or Spotify or iTunes or any podcast app. Just search Hack the Dino Podcast. We're up there. Leave a review. It helps other people find us, and hopefully we can grow that way, which is why, we want to share the love. Not like that. But we want more people to listen and experience and talk games because we love video games and games are fun. You can also hit us up on all the social things, but those things are evil, so you should probably not, but do it anyway. We've been Hack the Dino. You've been you. Unless you've not been you. Unless you're a lizard person. If you're a lizard person, we've got a problem.
Reptilian shapeshifters, watch our show. That's fine.
Trust.
They also vote for Trump.
Don't say that. Braden, get us out of here.